Hey, kids. You're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Our normal third is unable to make it tonight due to illness because he has children, and that's all that ever happens to him.
Wait, children make you sick?
They are sick so often. I worry about them because they seem sick an abnormally large amount of time. Like, I was never near that sick growing up.
That's because there's two kids, so it goes back and forth.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
Think about the immunities they're building up.
Yeah.
Antibodies.
I'm trying not to get sick.
Yeah.
I would like it if they built up some immunities from being sick so much, but they keep getting sick, so they're not building up any immunities at all.
They clearly don't pick their nose and eat it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or eat enough dirt.
No, seriously, there was an Australian scientist that postulated the theory, I don't know. The hypothesis was that if you pick your nose and eat it, you're sort of inoculating yourself to all the little germs that you pick up. And that was his whole thing.
The white shirt approach where you should have hands desanitizing stations where it's like you're just grabbing filth and rubbing it on your face once in a while.
Yeah.
Both eating dirt and eating one's own snot come from kind of the same area because most of your snot holds bacteria that your body's ejecting. That's one of the ways it gets rid of it. So reintroducing it to your system just helps it get better at fighting it because it's already now weakened and kind of in a protective shell to prevent it from attacking anything else. And dirt, for kids who eat dirt, like when I was a kid, I did, it introduces a whole bunch of nasty bacteria and stuff into your system. That's one of the reasons why I never get sick. Because I ate plenty of dirt as a kid.
There you go.
Carnage is saying we should keep snot talk in the...
I think we should too. I think this is all valuable information.
Snot talk with Bri Galgano.
Yep.
Special guest Mazedude. Welcome to Snot Talk, Mazedude. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. My dog just joined us, so there we go. Now I got a puppy on my lap.
Hey, puppy.
Yep. He's not a puppy. He was a COVID puppy, but I still think he's never going to get big, so he still looks like a puppy.
Oh.
I have a puppy in a cat suit.
What?
Dirham, my black cat, he's a puppy in a cat suit.
Oh God.
Fair.
Yeah.
We thought Peaches was a dog in a cat suit for a while.
Yeah.
I guess I should do the intro if I'm keeping all this, right?
Maybe, if you want to. I think everyone else already generally knows who the hell we are at this point.
What's up, everybody? It's the Snotty Mucusy Lungs podcast. I'm your host, Joe, Bri and Aki are here. We should have a Grant Henry joining us in a few. We should have a Jacob joining us for reviews near the end of the show. But for now, we've got a Mazedude, Christopher Getman. How are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Yourself?
I am doing good. I am thrilled to have you here. It's been a while since you've been on the show. What have you been up to?
Keeping busy, upstate, recovering from knee surgery. I wasn't able to go to MagFest. MagFest this year because of that, so that was a bummer. I missed you guys.
So was it a full replacement or something else?
Not a replacement, but it's my third surgery on the same knee, and it's my second time having the ACL completely repaired.
Yikes.
So 2014, I tore it doing a flip, and they repaired it using my hamstring. This time, I tore it doing a flip, and they repaired it with my quadricep tendon. So I've been having my leg all sorts of redone using other parts of the
I
same.
think this is your body's way of saying stop fucking doing flips.
Oh. I don't want to say that.
Why are we flipping?
It's fun.
The only thing you should flip is a table.
Well,
that is a good point.
And the bird. And
flipping the
So
bird.
in my 20s, I did thousands of flips, and this never happened. But in my 40s, apparently, you're not supposed to do that without proper stretch and warm up, and I didn't. I was trying to impress some teenagers, and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm sure they got a laugh out of it.
No, they felt really guilty, actually, because they're egging me on, like, come on, do a flip. And I was like, all right. And then I tore my ACL right in front of them. So they're like, it's not our fault.
No.
It wasn't our fault. I'm like, it wasn't your fault. It was mine, entirely mine. And yeah, I'm going to go to the hospital now.
You tore your ACL and they all scattered like us scattering when Master licked the door at MagFest 1. How's that for a reference?
I would say that's a long time ago.
And this is why men get so sick so readily. Licking people's door handles.
Oh, this was a drunken thing. This was a drunken thing. Yeah, MagFest 1 is where Mazedude and I first met.
Yeah, chill in the lobby. Well, Mustin and Dale North were walking around. We're like, hey, we know each other.
And all these years later, like, everybody's doing amazing things, and I'm doing this stupid show.
You're consistent, so that's something.
I am. 13 years ago.
What's up?
There is a Stemage. Grant, how are you doing?
I'm great. What's up, Maze, dude?
What's up, Grant?
How you living?
Living all right. We were just talking about how I missed MagFest, and Joe wasn't able to come up for Retro Game Con, the one thing I was able to go to this time.
Yes.
I know. I was so bummed about that. Like, I was looking forward to that for months, and Ashley's like, we just can't afford it. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first time I ever did a panel at one of those things where I was like doing live composing. It was hard. So the guy putting it all together, Pat, was like, we were celebrating like the 35th anniversary of the NES. That's what it was, or the 40th, or some major anniversary of the Nintendo Entertainment System. And to celebrate, everything was like NES themed. So they had a whole bunch of original Nintendo machines and all these NES memorabilia. And I was asked to compose NES music live in front of a room, but not just do it live, but do it with audience participation. So ask people for prompts, ideas, suggestions, and then run with the ball. And I went for it, but my prompts were terrible. So
What kind of prompts did you get? Like, was it audience prompts or?
Yeah, like audience prompts. Like, I'm like, give me a style game, and I'm hoping someone says like Mega Man or Ninja Turtles, and they go RPG. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, all right, I need like a main theme, and someone was like, dum ba dum ba bum, like all happy, and like, okay, all right, let's work with this. And I made it work, and I built the whole theme. But like, I asked someone else, like, now give me a beat, a bass line, and they gave me something that didn't match the line, the melody, like at all. So I'm like, okay, So in real time. So I recorded it, and I haven't had a chance to go through and like edit it yet because I want to take the piece I wrote and polish it so you can kind of hear like, well, here's the raw thing that happened in 1 hour, and here it is actually developed from these ideas. So it is possible. I just haven't had a chance to do that part yet. But it was an experience. Awesome. It was and around my panel, I was kind of allowed to set up in the lobby and just blast tracker music. Just kind of show people walking by, here's retro music live in front of you on the screen with a tracker, which I enjoy doing. So that part was cool.
That leads to a good launch question for the people who don't know what trackers or tracking music is. Mm-hmm. What is this skill of yours?
Well, in the early 90s, people were starting to make music on their computers, and there were two main schools of thought. One was MIDI, general MIDI, basic computer imitating samples, instruments. And the other school of thought was tracking. So the idea with tracking is you shove a sample into a sequencer and you can move it around, change the pitch, chop it up to give it different durations. And when it started, you had a whopping 4 channels to work with, and very, very, very small files and very small samples, because in the early days, everything was, there was no high-speed internet. A megabyte was a big deal. So people were learning how to make magic with these sequencers with very small samples.
16 megabyte? Would that be a big deal in the 90s?
Yeah. What they had in the mid-90s was a contest to see the best song people could come up with no more than 1 meg. So it was about, okay, you got samples, you got these channels, but you got to be clever with it.
Grant,
and that's kind of why I
college in an entire college network with a 16 megabit file through email back in the 90s.
Yep.
I don't know if he stepped away, but man.
I remember when I downloaded something for like Doom or Doom 2 and it was 20 megabytes. I'm like, that's gigantic. It's insane. Who has that much room on their computer?
It was Carmageddon that he got emailed to him, and it took down.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Oh,
I'm still.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
Why, hello there.
It's my favorite man to have conversations with about butter.
Yes, that's what's really funny about that. I knew who was going to be on the show this week, and I got a memo that said that the only appropriate food to eat while listening to faith-based music conversation is butter chicken, and I am eating butter chicken right now.
There you go.
What the hell?
Where did you get
All
that?
about butter.
Yeah.
Where'd I get what?
The one where you got that information, like ChatGPT is like, this is what you must eat.
Dude, ChatGPT can kiss my entire butt.
My wife is all about ChatGPT. Like,
say what?
My wife used to ask me for help writing emails because she was like, I have this thing I have to say, but I'm pissed off and I need help softening this. And I would help her reword it so she wouldn't lose her job and actually deliver the message. But she doesn't need me anymore. She just has ChatGPT rewrite it with a new tone, and there you go. So
she needs to use ChatMZD.
If she needed softening up, you should have just used butter. I'm just saying. Big old tub of butter.
So we were just chatting with Mazedude about what tracking is.
Oh, tell me, Mazedude, what is tracking?
Well, I was getting there, and then we got off topic on butter. But no, it's sequencing using small samples to make gold, and if you're really good at it, you could manipulate the hell out of these small samples to make stuff that was not only cool to listen to, but cool to watch. If you ever see a tracker, it goes up and down, not side to side. So you're used to looking at sheet music or MIDI, and then you look at this, it's like, why is this going down instead of to the right? This is mind-boggling, but you can also kind of see all the channels and what they're doing and how these samples are being manipulated. And again, that's why I fell in love with it, because it wasn't just music you could hear, but music you could see. Then you could open the file and take apart what people did and stuff. So it was just like, heck, this is awesome. And then I started to figure out how to do it myself. It was awful at first, but you kept trying, and eventually I got decent.
You said when it started, it was limited to 4 channels. With your new project, what kind of channel limit did you have? Did you have an arbitrary limit for yourself, or was there a hard limit you had to work with?
It's funny because limitations can be helpful. You get 4 channels, you can't go past that. But the trackers grew beyond that. So it was 4 channels, then it was 8, then it was 16. And then they had things like stereo effects. And then they released Impulse Tracker in mid to late 90s. And that had 64 channels.
Non-node action, baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, once you get there, you have like 128 virtual channels, but 64 visual. But it turns into a thing where trackers now, you can shove a ton of incredibly high quality samples into a tool that was originally meant for not many low quality samples. So you can really manipulate it so someone listening has no clue what you did it with, because you could use samples from the most expensive keyboard of today and manipulate them with a tracker from the 90s. And it's like, what is doing this? So to answer your question, my new project, I went up to like 48 or 50 channels in some cases, because I had layers and layers of really in-depth chords with 7ths and 13s and delays and echoes. And it made it a little bit laborious at times, because it was like, okay, I just spent an hour and I wrote 5 seconds.
That sounds about right.
Adding all these layers, like time for another hour to make 5 more seconds. Yay.
It's like old school hand-drawn animation where you're just putting in, it's a labor of love.
Yep.
It's the Autodesk animator of music. Oh God, am I that old?
We're all old, man. Come on.
Nobody remembers Autodesk? Bloody hell.
Oh, Autodesk, like CAD Autodesk?
Yeah, basically. They had an animator application back in the early 90s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, gotcha. Did not realize that. Know the name. That's it.
I didn't have my own PC until like 99.
Chris, I probably should have prefaced that by saying I got started in tracking in, I think it was 1992, using Mod Edit on a PC squeaker, and then just went from there.
My first was a Scream Tracker 3.
Man, you got started with 16 channels. You were like the open wild was right there.
It seemed that way. My very first tracks that I got were some of those by Future Crew, Purple Motion, Scave, and all them. And those varied from 4 channels to 8 or 12, depending,
Or 2, if you were Purple Motion.
Or 2. Zach. Yep, that was a good one.
Dude, oh man, you and I are going to have to hang out a lot. Do you remember the multi-level marketing thing that he snuck into the text of that one?
No.
Zach. It was totally an MLM kind of thing, and he was trying to get people to jump onto this thing, and he used his 2-channel song which was brilliant, like just stupidly brilliant. But like, really?
What was he marketing? Was it like health products or?
I don't even know. I don't know exactly what it was, and I haven't gotten around to look back to seeing what it was. As soon as I saw the text, I was like, forget this. It was also in Finland, so like it didn't really matter.
There. Here's a question. Tracking takes a very long time to get short amounts of music, well, depending on how many channels you're working with. While listening to your new project, which we will get to momentarily, it felt very improvisational. Was that intentional? And if so, how do you get improvisational feel on something that you can't really improv?
Well, if I'd call it improvisational, but I think I know what you're hinting at, in that I was very much allowing the compositions to take their time. And you don't often get to do that if you're, working on film or a video game or whatever. It has to kind of get to the point. And here it was kind of like, if this track needs to be 6 minutes, let it be 6 minutes. Like if this part is building up, I don't have to hurry up and get to the next layer that's coming in. I can just kind of explore the space for a little while. Which is, you're messing with form a little bit. It's kind of an atypical form. It's not your typical, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. It's more like, I'm going to have this melody go again and then bring in a counter melody and then let them just riff for a while. And
the journey.
There was still form, but it was definitely looser and more exploratory, which was cool. Just, this project took a while too, because I would write and then leave and come back and listen to it and try to make it longer, then get stuck and then put it down and leave for a while, come back, listen to it, and then just like have a new idea. It's like, what if I had this go over here and then brought this in? Okay. So that could work.
What is this project that we have been alluding to? Tell us what is the new project that you just released?
It is my new album. It is an esoteric concept. That's the word that's flying around a lot right now, is esoteric, because it's a kind of an unusual fusion that doesn't exist currently. It is new, original, electronic, neoclassical music based on verses from the Bible. So you take a Bible verse and you kind of figure out, what does this mean? What are the words and verses that represent whatever abstract concept is being spelled out in scripture, and what would that sound like if you turned it into music? So that was the premise, and it's been kind of in the works for years. I tried to do a Kickstarter for it in 2020, and that did not go well, partially because of COVID, partially because it was a hard idea to explain and really get people on board, and partly because I hadn't actually written a lot of music for it yet. Put the cart before the horse and tried to market something that wasn't really built. And that didn't go well, so don't do that. I learned the hard way. Build a lot of the project you want to promote before you promote it. Don't just talk. I spent way too long making a website for music that I hadn't written yet. It's like, dude, just focus on the music.
Star Citizen hasn't come out yet. You're doing good.
But yeah, the end result, it took a lot of work and time, and then similar to what I did for American Pixels some years ago, I brought in necessity to bring in classical instruments, which if you ever tried to merge a solo violin or cello with dense electronics, it's difficult. And I write very challenging pieces too, so it's like virtuoso level violin and cello and marimba and harp, and I had to find people who could play it. But then I get very nitpicky. I put it in Pro Tools, and then I want it to match the electronics perfectly, but guess what? It was played by a human, so it doesn't match. So I play the game of, do I want to manipulate the hell out of this and chop and splice and stretch and squeeze until it fits, or let it be human, in which case it's imperfect. So I play that game of leave a little imperfection, but fix some of it, So anyways, a lot of layers to the project basically, but end result, it's out there. 3 of the tracks are fully realized with like the full orchestration, live instruments, full electronics. A few tracks on there that are pure, like what I'm calling on the album 9-bit, because they're kind of like the track realized, but not with live instruments, not with soloists. And they could be orchestrated later. And then I have a couple tracks on the album that are the 9-bit original drafts of what became the fully orchestrated pieces. So when you listen, start to finish, you can hear, here's the full robust version with all the layers, and then here's the original 9-bit concept that was written first. What I was doing with that approach was kind of what I did when I made the soundtrack to Maze Quest 2. That was an approach where I would draft every theme for the game in like 8-bit or 9-bit because it was fast. I don't need to figure out the sounds, I just need to figure out the tune. Now, with Maze Quest, that worked because they were short. These are 30-second riffs, 45 seconds, a minute maybe. And once approved, then I orchestrate it, and then there it is in the game. I kind of regret doing that here because I would figure out an entire 5 or 6 minute piece in 8 or 9-bit, and then it's like, oh, now I got to go back and orchestrate this thing. Yikes. And that's where it kind of turned into a slog. So mixed feelings on that approach, but that's the genesis as to what happened with why there's half orchestrated and half 9-bit on the original album.
When did you first start working on this? Looking at the Bandcamp, 2015? Is that when the idea first came for this?
That's when the idea first came. I was sitting in church and I was just thinking to myself, I've been writing music for years. I've been writing for these games. I've written for, concerts and college and everything, but I've never written for God. And what would that look like? And instantly, boom, got a download. So it's kind of like, God telling you to do something. He's like, okay, you want to write for me? Do this. Take a Bible verse, convert it in music. Oh. And it was like, if you ever get one of those ideas that just sticks and doesn't go away, it's like, okay, well, this isn't going away. I guess I better do it.
Dude, I've had that so many times, and I wish I had, skill to make music.
Me too.
I still want Grant to do a Guitar Room Man project.
Oh, good Lloyd.
Yeah, but anyway, this marinated for a while before I actually sat down and started composing, because it's what's the word? Significant to try to represent scripture with music, and it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write the best music I've ever written. No pressure. So it's daunting. So I didn't actually start until 2019. I had a couple other projects I had to finish first, and then I started writing. And then, like I said, I got caught up with the whole idea of a Kickstarter and the marketing and the website, and I didn't write a lot until after the Kickstarter failed. And it was like, okay, well, I'm on my own. Let's just make this the best I can with what I have, with my current budget in my quote free time. So it's been a slow build, and at times it's I'll tell you, I actually started another album in early 2025, and I kind of felt like the Lord tapped me on the shoulder and be like, no, I see what you're doing. Finish this one. I was like, but this new one's more fun. It's easier.
Hey, no, over here.
Yeah. Basically, it was kind of like, okay, finish this first, get it out there, and then you're released to work on other stuff. And it was like, okay. So I feel a lot freer now than I did all 2025, because I was pushing to get this thing done by the end of the year, and I did.
Yeah.
But it was immensely challenging and just deep. And like I said, long. It's much harder to write a 6-minute piece than it is a 2-minute doodle, or a 2-minute video game track to really have something with complex themes that replay themselves in different ways with multi-layered orchestration and, polyrhythms and complex time signatures. And it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, these are all each song is sort of a journey, and you don't, anymore, if you're writing, let's call it a song, you might just say, okay, it's time for the second verse. As a start, I might just copy these sections over because it's the second verse, same as the first. And then you build maybe off of that, but this isn't really built like that at all.
No, it's not. And what I'm trying to evoke, biblical themes in the tracks too. So when I'm talking about Genesis 1:2, the verse talks about hovering over the face of the waters and the world being without form and void. So I'm trying to capture that with music. So there's a lot of stuff in there that sounds like water and sounds like waves and sounds like pulsing, flowing back and forth and that kind of stuff. So there's meaning behind a lot of what's happening musically.
I actually, when I was listening to Genesis, I thought that there were parts in the beginning, especially that were a little chaotic. And the note I wrote down here was like, out of the chaos, there became form, and that was good. And that was, yeah, I feel like I got that.
You're spot on. Yeah, because you notice the rhythms don't quite line up perfectly at first too.
Yeah.
There's some weird off things that aren't I didn't want to make it formless, like the verse says, without form. So, but I did definitely want it to be kind of dark and messy and chaotic. But through that shines beauty.
Yeah.
So that the strings coming in over that and actually kind of creating something sustainable over the disjointed electronics below. So yeah, spot on.
This is a very sort of I don't know. It's almost like a synesthesia type interpretation in a way. It's like I remember, I did an EP where I focused on each song being a color. Now this is a bit heavier. This is more of this is less about colors and more about stories that are pre-existing, but it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I think it would be interesting to hear someone else's interpretation of the same scripture. This is just Mazedude's version of it, and the whole thing's fascinating.
We're toying with the idea of doing a volume 2 where it would be not just me, but several composers. And that would be...
Where can we get 2 other talented musicians to put their own spin on these songs?
Dude, I'm an Orthodox subdeacon. I'm in on this. Tell me anytime.
Subdeacon.
I wish I was joking. It sounds really corny, but yeah.
No, I know. Yeah, you're in. Norg's there. This is fascinating. Let me ask you, is there a reason that Deuteronomy does not have a non-9-bit version?
That one and even the Mark V piece where it was kind of I can picture in my head an orchestrated version, but I didn't want it to hold up the launch of the album by spending another year recording a bunch of instruments and try to rework it when I thought it sounded pretty darn good by itself. The Deuteronomy piece, I could kind of hear a flugelhorn doing what the synth horn is doing. I could hear an electric bass playing the really high solo bass, but it would just be a lot of difficulty getting all that to work right, especially the bass part. Because it was very bendy and wavy.
Yeah.
And, so that's not off the table. And with Mark 534, I can hear oboe, bassoon, viola, guitar, kind of hitting a lot of what's playing the melody there. Mm-hmm. But again, that's a very long piece with, just like the scripture that matches it, a very long buildup, very long pressing in, striving against difficulty and pushing to a victory and just making that happen with the full orchestration as possible. I just don't want to delay this launch by another couple of years to do that. But that's why I specifically put in parentheses 9-bit for those, because they're more versions are potential.
Sure. I mean, I think for that particular, for Deuteronomy, I've been big into I've been listening to a bunch of weird early 80s library music, and I just got the Carl Sagan Cosmos vinyl. I fixed my record player, it was broken, and I've fallen into some early synth stuff again. So that one just kind of tickled the biscuits, let's say, because it's got a lot of that. It's written with those instruments in mind. A lot of this, I don't think I would hear another thing doing because it's sort of built for those synths and stuff like that. So,
what's the name? I wrote that down. Carl Sagan. What is it?
Carl Sagan's Cosmos music from Cosmos vinyl. It's just a vinyl I picked up local shop. I had no idea that they put any Cosmos music on vinyl.
Because I love concept albums, like you talked about, colors. I mean, if you look at Gustav Holst when he did the Planets suite, favorite track was Mars and Mercury and Jupiter. I love that set.
Yeah,
beautiful music.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I really appreciated about the album is just how freeform you were able to take the tracker medium and still make something that sounded organic, because you and I both know that tracker music was very much rinse and repeat. You built a pattern and then you used that pattern, or you built on that pattern, or you copied that pattern and you modified it. But in this case, you don't even need to know anything about the verses that are being referenced because it tells a story. There are not a lot of places in the Bible where things get repeated unless you're talking about like the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music section. But like, it tells a story and it takes you on a journey, and somebody listening to this who has no knowledge of what the subject matter is would still be able to appreciate that this is a journey. And then it's triple enough so for anybody who's familiar with it. It's fantastic.
Really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
I think
I will add to
go ahead.
Go ahead. Just one more thing. Another thing I did a lot with this album was play with numbers and math. So if you listen carefully and compare against like the track titles, Genesis 1-2, there's a lot of bits in the song where it has like one beat, then two beats. And then even like steps, it's like step 1, step 2. So there's like ba 1 2 2 1 1 2. So there's like playing with that. In John 14:2, 14 is 7 times 2. So I have a lot of sevens. So it's a lot of sevens in Deuteronomy 28, 7 times 4. So there's a lot of sevens in that one. So I had a lot of fun with weird time signatures and playing with that stuff that I've been told there's a lot of things in this album that fellow musicians pick up on that non-musicians don't get at all. But it's like when you analyze it, you're like, oh crap, okay, that's why it's that time signature, like things like that, which I geek out on.
Speaking of weird time signatures, George, what was the time signature that you did the SML theme in for the 11th anniversary?
You'll have to refresh my memory. I can't remember what I did.
God, I have to send you your own song.
You might. I don't know if it was the 11th anniversary. It was probably an 11/8.
11
or 11/4
I think that was it. It was something weird like
what
that.
Sagat's theme is in is 11.
Was that? Say that again.
I said I think that's what Sagat's theme is in from a Street Fighter 2.
Oh.
One of my early remixes.
Right. I was led to believe there would be no math.
So let's get to probably the big question. In this day and age, religion is kind of a hot button issue, and the video game scene isn't really known for faith-based projects. What made you want to pursue this project, I guess, in this day and age with so much negativity directed towards religion these days?
Well, first of all, I don't really care for the word religion. It tends to mean a list of rules to follow. This is more about faith in sacred texts and in the truth that still resonates today from things that were written, hundreds and thousands of years ago. That is still a cornerstone for a lot of people around the world. And the thought was, if I can, through my weird little sideways tracker music, share that through my bizarre tracker compositions, there could be people around the world that hear this and wonder, what does that verse say? And then maybe for the first time ever, they're looking up what the Bible has to say, and they could benefit from that and maybe keep reading and gain further truths and insight, whether they are, doing it from a religious angle or just wisdom or poetry or whatever. It's text that I felt needed a new life, and through my strange little hobby approach, this is my way of doing it.
George, how does
in the Eastern Church there's a reason why icons are described as not being painted but as being written, because each one of them is designed to tell a story. And in the case of music, there definitely needs to be way more non-nationalist themed music around Christianity, because music is an art form and its canvas is time. It just doesn't happen to be something you can see with your eyes, unless, like Grant said, you have synesthesia. But yeah, there's a lot. I agree with Joe. There's a ton of hot button stuff surrounding it, but I think it's been manufactured by a very tiny minority of people who say they have that faith versus the overwhelming majority who live and breathe that faith every single day, with or without a structured religion around it. And that's why music like this is necessary, I think.
George, as a man of faith, how does seeing this project come out make you feel?
I think it's fantastic for not just all the reasons I said, but like, and I'm a little bit weird because I come from a background where the music in our church is based on the Russian Orthodox tradition. So it's all 4-part harmony, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, as opposed to its origins, which was more Middle Eastern Byzantine chant, which is beautiful in its own way. So music is, my father was an Orthodox choir director, and I grew up with that music like pretty much my entire life. And music, he used to wear a sweater that says, "Those who sing pray twice." I think that was kind of his little tongue-in-cheek thing. But it gets to a very strong point about the fact that music is not just a vehicle for transferring art and telling story. It is living emotion. And I know Grant can attest to this as well. Making music and then sometimes going back and hearing that music or hearing other music is in and of itself a religious experience. And church choirs, for example, our church choir, sometimes when you get into that zone and everybody's locked in and they're singing the chord right and they're not picking their noses or being distracted by a baby somewhere, anywhere, you hear more than just the 4 voices that are singing. You hear overtones. Some people call it the 5th voice. I knew a very profound gray-haired gentleman who said that when the choir sings right, God adds his voice to the tone. So there is so much to the linkage between music and faith. And it doesn't just have to be choral. It doesn't have to be rock music. Casting Crowns is an example of some that I've heard over the years. Electronic music telling a faith-based story without the need for words. I mean, this is one of the things that we need.
Let me tell you something too. When I was building this out, I was reaching out to other composers, the whole Kickstarter and just the website and stuff. And I had 2 other music makers tell me that they were given a very similar idea years ago and never did it. So that's the thing where sometimes you hear like God gives an idea to someone, and if they don't do it, he'll move on and give it to someone else. If they don't do it, he'll move on to give it to someone else. I'm like, well, if I'm at least the 3rd person that you approach with this idea, I don't want to be another person to drop the ball. I want to be the one who actually takes it over the finish line, which honestly, I almost quit at a couple spots too, but it was like, no, pick it back up, keep going. And it's done.
So did those people who were thinking about it, they probably worked in other genres of music, right? Like you're saying conceptually, like they were thinking of the same thing. I mean, has this been done before?
Not that in this way. No, I could not find a single example because I looked to see, and there's a lot of people who have done like, they take the book of Psalms and turn each one into a little, song, but not like a verse and expanding it into what it means from an abstract concept, like, trying to mimic what would eternity sound like as music? What does creation sound like? What does, forgiveness as a concept sound like in music? I couldn't find any examples of that matched what I was going for.
So I have a question.
You nailed it so well. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
What does forgiveness sound like? Holy moly. I'm going to sit on that for a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, one verse I didn't even get to was love your enemies. That was going to be like dubstep, darkness, and then love at the same time. And I didn't get to that one yet. But what's your
next album?
So yeah, I mean, you've kind of talked around this already, but I want to ask this specifically. How much is based on the actual text versus the feeling you get from the text?
Well, that kind of parallels with another question I was getting, where is it just the one verse or is it the verses around it?
Right.
And it's kind of the verses around, but what I didn't want to do was have it be like, this is John 14, 2-5. It's like, no, just pick the one that makes the most sense. And some of it is the feelings around it. and some of it is more zooming in on something. So, for John 14:2, for example, it's talking about, in my Father's house are many mansions. Behold, I go and prepare a place for you. And what I was going for was, like if you played Sim City, this is like Sim Heaven. I'm building I'm building in the clouds, and I'm building with majesty, and I'm building with lights and stuff. So there's kind of this industrial, but a very peaceful industrial building to that one. But if you read the rest of the chat, was that?
It's ActRaiser.
Does that happen?
George got that one.
Oh yeah.
Glad someone got that.
I never played that game. Otherwise, I'd get the reference for sure.
That's homework for you. It's worth it.
Okay. I will check that out. But if you read the rest of that chapter, it's talking about, do not let your heart be troubled. And he's kind of consoling all these sad disciples that he's telling them that he's leaving. So the tone changes, So I was really trying to zoom in on the whole like heaven aspect, not the whole I'm leaving you, don't be sad. But that's different than say Mark 5:34, where that's the end of a story. That verse is the very end of a woman who's been trying to get healing for years, and she finally gets it. And he says, "Your faith has made you whole. Go and be in peace." But it's the verses building up to that represent the track, because the track is about relentless pushing, building, pressing through crowds, straining against suffering, and then finally getting peace at the end of like a 7-minute track that's, it's relentless and brutal. So does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm having a huge good time with this conversation, because it's all like abstract concepts and synesthesia, which is totally me in a nutshell. I do actually have mild synesthesia, like I taste colors and things. So this is a fascinating conversation to me.
And I love talking music with musicians. I don't get to do this that often. We had a similar thing. I had my a listening party for this album on Bandcamp, which I've never done. And I had people asking similar things. And I'm like, ooh, I get to geek out and talk about these things that they're, referencing when they hear something. So this is fun for me too.
All right.
I have a question after Bri's question. Go, Bri.
Oh, I was going to dig more into other stuff, but you go ahead.
Oh, well, I found that when I was working on my colors record, I tend to do, which I imagine you do, especially with a project like this, you start with one idea, and because of the nature of the creative process, you find yourself in some other room in some other house you didn't realize you're gonna be traveling to. Like, I might have started a song with one color in mind, but it ended up shifting. I'm curious to know if you experienced anything like that with this. Like, did you start with something, and then you realize you were actually perhaps following a different scripture, or perhaps it wasn't right and you needed to start over? Like any like anecdotes about the experience of writing this and adhering to these scriptures from like beginning to end as songs?
A little bit, not so much with the ones that made it to the album, but I have several that didn't because of what happened. Yeah, like I have several that I started that had potential, but I was like, man, this is supposed to sound like a call to arms, and now it sounds like a day at the beach. It's not working. Like, you just Romans 10:13 is when I started. And I started playing with 10s and 13s, which are numbers you don't normally hear in music, but the chords that built from those numbers in mind were incredibly peaceful, and that's not what the verse is about. I was like, So I have multiple that I started that were just like, no, it just went from the brain to the page, so to speak, and just didn't work. So the ones that made it to the album were pretty close to what I was trying to go for, but yeah, several did not. So they did meander, as you say.
I love how he's talking about 13th chords that nobody ever listens to, and he's talking to a couple of prog heads. Come on.
We use 10s and 13s all the time. Okay, yep.
We eat 10s and 13s for breakfast.
So yeah, going back to something you mentioned earlier, related to that, was there any particular reason for specific instrumentation? Like, was there more of a feeling of like those verses in strings or some other instrument, or was it partly like available musicians and their instruments for your composed concepts?
Well, there was some that were specific and some that kind of evolved. The specific one was Psalms 23. That one was very deliberate because King David was a harp player. King David wrote the psalm, so I wanted to include harp. That one also I do a lot with numbers with 2, 3, and 4. So I hear 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That riff is repeated a lot, and it's 23 verse 4. Another big thing that happens in that piece is the reference to thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So I have a rod smacking a staff as one of the sounds, where you just a loud wooden crack. That was me with several branches I found around my father's farm in a studio smacking sticks together.
Nice.
To then layer them together and make this loud crack. Another instrument
I could see George doing. I could.
Yeah. Another instrument I brought in was actually there's an ancient instrument, a shofar. Anyone know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the ram's horn.
Oh.
A great big ram's horn from ancient Israeli battles and stuff. I found a guy who plays it. He has multiple shofars, and I recorded it for this album. Now, that is a hard instrument to work with because it doesn't like to stay in one note. It kind of, you know? But there are also like ancient like rhythms and calls that from the shofar could play with really not many notes that all meant something. So if it was like bum bum, that meant different versus they bop 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 bop. So I recorded a bunch of those, and they are in Psalms 23:4. Not super in your face, but they are there and they're layered, and you kind of hear this like weird horn creep in a lot, and then the harp plays on top of that. So that was very all deliberate because those all had meaning. But Genesis 1 verse 2, I started that one for solo violin, recorded some solo violin, changed my mind and thought this is too really, really low synth and then really high violin. There's nothing in the middle. So I started rewriting it for cello, and I recorded it for cello. And then as I was mixing it, I was like, I kind of want to bring that violin back in, but only at certain parts. So you'd have that sonic reinforcement of multiple octaves playing the same thing across different instruments. So I was not intending for that to be 2 cellos and a violin. It kind of evolved there in Pro Tools.
I think I ask this question every time you're on. What's the weirdest instrument on this album?
I mean, on this album, it's probably the shofar, you know? If you listen carefully, there's also a lot of metal bangs that for some reason I didn't realize like how often there's this like smash, like not quite a gong, not quite a cymbal, this kind of just metallic clank, like the Terminator, like anvil. That creeps its way into several places in this album where I'm like, shoot, I didn't mean to put it that often, but I like it. I guess maybe the anvil, you're going to hear some anvil in there.
Because our history goes back with weird instrumentation.
Oh yeah, I don't have any jaw harp or kazoo in this one, unfortunately.
No lie, MagFest 1, we went to a mall as like a day trip excursion, and Mazedude bought a kazoo at the mall.
And we used it later in a piece.
Yeah, why not?
As one does.
Yeah.
Who goes kazoo shopping with Vert? Like, that's such a weird thing that you could tell people now.
Anybody who can.
At one of the MagFests, Austin Wintry showed up, and he was getting ready to do a panel. And as he was getting ready to speak, a group of people stood up and played the Journey theme in a kazoo choir.
Yes.
And he was like, I am both incredibly honored and horrified. It was like, it was a beautiful, weird, strange moment where it was like, never heard my music played by a choir of kazoos before.
That's
kazoo can be kazoo can be awesome. Like Bear McCreary used that in The Walking Dead. I'm a huge like Bear McCreary fan. Sorry, that's my reference.
Absolutely. Battlestar Galactica in the house.
Oh yes.
I liked his
God weird instrumentation. Yes. That's good stuff.
That album put out that Bri was talking about his new album. She's like, it's really, really good. So I went to check it out because I saw Megaran had a track on there. Corey Taylor had a track on there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this a listen. And it's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it? What's it called?
Let me pull up iTunes and I will check, unless Bri remembers the title.
Singularity.
That's it.
The Singularity. Yeah. It's a 2-part album. It actually has a graphic novel that comes with it too. It's pretty fun.
So that's not for a soundtrack. Original music? So that's not a soundtrack or anything? It's just original music?
It's original music that and he has a bunch of other artists collaborating with him, and specifically his brother is doing a lot of the singing. Oh. So yeah, it's like a hard rock album. It's great. There's metal in there. Okay. His brother has great like screamo vocals. It's awesome. Brendan McCreary, I think is his name. So yeah.
I was gonna make a bad joke that his brother's probably Wolf McCreary.
Yeah, I know. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rabbit McCreary.
But bringing it back to the album here, what were there any other influences, musical or otherwise, that went into this project, like visual art or other written material? I'm just curious if there was anything else deep in there.
There's another influence I guess I had with the John 14 piece was Steve Reich. If you've ever heard Steve Reich's minimalist piece, he does a lot with mallet instruments. And to kind of have like, a riff kind of loop and then more instruments come in and play. And it's just like, there's this strange beauty in like his minimalist approach because layers happen and a lot of musical complexity happens just from the chords they make. So I've always liked his style and his really good study music. He has a piece called Music for 18 Musicians, and it's just like vocalist, marimbas, organs, and it's a very strange ensemble, but I've always liked that sound, so I guess maybe I try to incorporate a hint of that.
All right.
Yeah. Beyond that, I'm trying to think. I mean, what's weird is that I will often, and if you've ever heard my remixes, I like to mimic people. I will do a track, and I'm mimicking Marilyn Manson. Now I'm mimicking so-and-so. I'm mimicking, this person. I'm mimicking this particular soundtrack, and that's fun for me. But in a way, when I do that, I'm piggybacking off someone else. So it's less effort, and it's more of a, I'm going to grab whatever sounds they used and whatever. I do a lot of tracker homages where I will do a callback to a famous 90s tracker, but I will use his exact samples from the piece he wrote in 1995 and build something new out of it, honoring a game. Again, that's fun, but to quote Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, I'm standing on the shoulders of geniuses. So this album, I was deliberately trying to make my own sound with each one, which is way harder because I'm coming up with a new genre, basically, with each piece. And I was trying not to piggyback off of people or piggyback off of another style or a soundtrack. It was more of inventing completely fresh, which is, like I said, way more difficult, but that's kind of what I was going for.
Oh, man. Well, I know we've been chatting for a while. Chris, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
I'll give you just a teaser. Not so much. I mean, I've kind of talked a lot about this album, and I've loved the conversation and the questions, and I'm really glad people listen to it and are kind of getting some of what I was going for without me having to. Because I was debating, like, do I need to put out videos explaining these things or behind the scenes? And I may still yet, but the fact that some of this is sinking in already is very reassuring, and I like that. Just more of a stay tuned. I have a couple fun projects in the works that, like I said, I'm freed up to do. I'm doing this thing where I'm going back to music I wrote as a teenager, and I'm finding tracks that were actually good, and I'm remastering them in Pro Tools, which is a surreal experience, rewinding 30 years and finding like, well, I was 16, I wrote this little piece, but I kind of like it. And it was only heard in that era by either people in the local BBS systems where we were sharing these things, or the early days of AOL. And AOL had a little tracker music community where there was, we would share these things and we had little groups that we would form and put it out there. But by and large, very few people have heard a lot of this music from 30 years ago. And I'm like, you know what? I could remaster it, reproduce it, and get it out there in Spotify and Apple, whatever. And the kid from me from 30 years ago will make some money off of this stuff.
That's only because you didn't find us on IRC.
You found IRC in around 98 when we were doing compos on FNet.
Yep. That was after the split.
It might have been. I mean, that's actually where I met Jake Kaufman. We actually compoed together when we were both in senior high, or seniors in high school. And he and I competed against each other a lot, and I never beat the darn guy. I came in second a lot.
Yeah, everybody was always fighting for second place when he entered things.
Yeah. But I mean, I would compete against like Firestar and Xerxes and some other names that were just kind of like, okay,
oh my goodness.
Redas. Remember Redas?
Yep. Eris E, LB. Oh my goodness. Old people talking about people who aren't around anymore.
Yeah. This is Frisbee, Druid, Lizard. I mean, yeah, a whole bunch of them.
Basehead.
Base. I actually met Basehead in person once live, but I was on a first date with my wife, so I gave him like 2 seconds. I was like, well, I got to go.
Oh no!
But I was more interested in her than I was talking to him, and that was that.
As well, you should have been.
Hey, and we've been married now for almost 20 years.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Nice job.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's a Teenage Mazedude album that I'm going to release at some point this year. But here's the next fun thing is the album that I started in 2025 that the God said, stop, I'm going to pick back up, and I'm calling it American Tracker. So it's actually going to be going back to honoring American game composers, but all tracker homages at the same time. But what I'm doing is tackling American composers who have never remixed their music before and using tracker homages from trackers that I've never mimicked before. So it's kind of a fun, like, who else can I get in this concept? And that one has some really, really fun stuff that I've started. I got some StarCraft music in the style of Alexander Brandon. I got Octageddon music written by our buddy Big Giant Circles in the style of Leviathan, which is fitting because they're both about giant oceanic creatures.
Fun fact, Leviathan is a pool shark.
That's really fun fact. Leviathan's a song title on the Barry McCreary album.
Oh, there you go.
Right back to that.
One with Corey Taylor.
Yes.
I have a Journey remix that I started in the style of Radix. So there's some fun like fusions coming, but that's hopefully I can share more on that later in the year once I kind of pick that back up. And then of course I have my little panel from Retro Game Con I'll be sharing with some doodles and other things that kind of went into that. So basically, I know it's like a long way to say it's been very quiet for me for a while because I've had multiple parallel things in the works, but I'm hoping now that this album is out, the other things that have been kind of pending will come along at a faster clip, and it will be a lot to showcase over the course of the year.
Floodgates opening.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, where can people keep up to date with you and what you are doing?
Ironically, my website itself is the one that's the most behind on all this. So just check out my Bandcamp.
Isn't that how that goes? That's just how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my website needs a lot. I had to change servers recently from GoDaddy to SiteGround, and a bunch of things broke behind the scenes, and it's just been laborious to try to fix it. So it's kind of a clunky website right now. But I'm on all the platforms. Just follow which one you like. Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever you want. Just stay tuned. Follow me on Facebook, X, or any of those platforms. It's pretty much the name is Mazedude on all of them. So yeah, check out my Facebook, and I'll post. I don't post there often, but when I have something to show off, I'll post.
Very good. Anyone else have any questions for this?
I do, but you can go first.
Nope, Bri, it's your turn.
No, because I totally have like an off-topic question.
Okay, I just going to say this album rules, and one of the things that I think is fascinating about it is that it will be people that are familiar with the scripture will connect to it on a different level, but it's just so you don't need that knowledge to enjoy it. It's just an awesome wash of a journey of an album, and it's great. And so congratulations on that. And
thank you.
And it's funny, I just sent this to my buddy Theology. He's a VGM DJ. I don't know if you're familiar with Theology, but he's my favorite in the DJ space at the moment. And I also sent it to my friend Jeremy Lamont. I don't know if you know Jeremy from the Video Game Grooves vinyl podcast, but I just happened to look on Bandcamp and he already bought it. So I was like, okay, well, people are paying attention. That's funny. That's
yeah, cool. I really appreciate it.
Music just bought it. That's cool.
What was that?
I see Stemage just bought it. That's cool.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You gotta do what I do, which is buy the album on Bandcamp and then go listen to it on YouTube Music. That's what I do. Like you actually have to give the artist money and then listen to it where it's convenient. You can't do one or the other. You gotta do both, right? So then you'll get your $10 from me, and then you'll get a 1/100th of a penny from YouTube Music for my 1,000 listens on YouTube Music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or Spotify even is kind of like you need thousands of plays to make $1.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yep. Anyway, that's all. Bri,
really appreciate
over to you.
Is...
Oh, no problem. No problem, bud.
All right. So this is totally off topic, and I don't even know that this is a question, but the seventh guest is apparently something you're a fan of because you've done some remixes.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me, did I read this correct that you did the music for a mobile game that I didn't know existed until I was reading your page?
Yeah, so Seventh Guest, dude, 1993, one of the first games ever to have actors on a green screen.
One of my favorite games. So yes.
Yeah, I love that game growing up, and I would go to high school, and I'm in social studies, and all I'm thinking about is how to solve that darn chess puzzle. I'd go home and be like, I think I have it. No, so I love that game. I love the music. I've actually met George Sanger, the Fat Man.
Awesome.
We're connected now, but yeah, when I got into remixing, I was like, well, I got to do something from this game, and I've done a few actually remixes from there. But I got the attention of the production company, Trilobite Games, specifically Rob Landeros reached out to me, and he was like, I really like these. Hey, guess what? We're doing a port of the Seventh Guest for iPhone. Can we put one of your remixes in the end credits? And I was like, heck yeah. So my Dolls from Hell remix is in the end credits of the iPhone port for the Seventh Guest. But then they said they were doing a port of the Microscope puzzle game as its own standalone game to be the Seventh Guest Infection, and would I like to do the music for it? And I was like, heck yeah. So it was... and that's a piece, speaking of time signatures, that's in 5. It's kind of a weird, watery, like you're looking at viruses under the scope. So I'm trying to hit that tone. And I wasn't trying to mimic George Sanger's music. I was just trying to hit like the tone for this puzzle. And yeah, it's a game even my daughter has on her iPad. We play it once in a while.
Awesome.
They tried to make a Seventh Guest 3, and I was actually kind of attached to be one of the composers, but it didn't make it there. It was one of the Kickstarters that didn't quite. The video was not good. It didn't sell it very well.
Yeah, the song "Skeletons in My Closet" that was like a huge find for me back in the day because I didn't even hear it in the game at first. I heard it because it was like a junk track that you could find by putting it in a regular CD player. So yeah, that's one of those songs that I absolutely love as well. So
well, you had to beat the game to hear that song.
Yeah,
that's what played beating the game was brutal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I found the song before I got to the end of the game, which was just really cool. Yeah. All right. So that was my question.
All right. Well, Chris, we will let you get going. We have news and reviews that we've got to take care of. I want to thank you for coming on, hanging out and chatting with us. I think the song I'm going to play at the end of the show is going to be Deuteronomy.
Okay.
I like that one.
How long are the news and reviews going to take? Because I might just hang out.
Oh, man. News, half hour-ish maybe. Reviews maybe the same. Could be another hour.
All right. Okay. Well, I may hop back and forth then. But yeah, thank you for having me. And thanks for letting me talk music. And, it's like I said, it's fun to unpack some of this, what's been swirling in my head for years. So I really appreciate this opportunity. That was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad to have you on. Always a pleasure having you on. You are welcome on anytime you want to be here. And yeah, hang out and chat. And if you hear a topic that comes up that catches your interest, I know our top news of the week is probably going to get some interest from the PlayStation gamers in here. George, were you going to hang out? Or were you going to split?
I'll hang for a bit.
Cool. Grant, you have to stay because you have reviews. And Aki,
I am staying. And Norg is on every single. Is Norg the only person that's on every episode of SML other than Joe? Probably, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, he's not on 0 or maybe not 1. I know the intro came like a show or 2 in.
I don't know how you remember that.
All right. Well, I'll probably be back and forth in that case, but you guys carry on and have a good one.
All righty. Hugs and kisses.
Nice to meet
Chris.
you.
Good to talk to you, man.
Oh, yeah. News. Should we dive into this?
Do it.
No. I mean, yes.
Big news of the week just hit. Breaking news before the show went live tonight. Sony has shut down Blue Point Studio, known mostly for their remakes such as the Shadow of Colossus remake, Gravity Rush Remastered, and Demon Souls remake. And they were widely regarded as like the gold standard for remakes and remasters. And now they're gone.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks big old donkey balls.
Yeah, it does. It is very disappointing.
It's really strange. It's really strange because I feel like there was a lot of talk in the last few days about because of all this headache with the hardware stuff, all the RAM and all the fact that it's hard for them to push new hardware because it's too expensive to make. Sony was going to slide into way more software stuff, and there are all these there's all this Sony IP just sort of sitting there, right, ready for like a freshening up, and it seems like this team would have been perfect for some of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Massive bummer. Massive bummer. Let's hope some other studio might step in and save them. It would be nice to see a multi-plat studio pick them up and put them to work on some classic games. I'm still sad that they never got put on Legend of Dragoon. I think that would have been amazing.
Yes, it would.
Well, it's a super talented group of people. If someone wants to just get them as a bundle, they make the prettiest games on the platform. So it's like,
indeed,
someone slurp them up. Yeah.
Can you imagine being able to get a dev team on Humble Bundle?
You just, yeah, right. You pay what you want, but if you pay extra, you can have HR department.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, who wants that really? So might as well just get the base
tier.
Pay the base
like
price.
3 programmers and an artist.
Yeah.
You got to pay like the $15 to get the full crew.
Yep.
Oh, $15 for a crew.
I think after all the hours that they actually put in, that's probably how much they earned when you calculate it out.
Maybe.
Ugh, yeah. Seriously.
Game Pass Ultimate. Bunch of games coming to Game Pass through the end of the month. This week was a pretty hearty week. On the 17th, we got Aerial Knight's Drop Shot.
Nice.
And Avatar Frontiers of Pandora.
Woot.
I'll be helping promote that tomorrow.
Are you streaming that one tomorrow?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Very cool. What are you going to be streaming? Is it going to be like the intro stuff, the expansion?
Probably some intro stuff because I'm still dealing with that. I had to start my save over. And I'm also going to be taking a look at another game called Rayman.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Very cool. We'll be talking about that one on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Our good friend Tim Ekibus is going to join to talk about that one. Excited.
All right.
February 19th, today, we got Death Howl on console. It was on Xbox PC previously. The console version is finally here. So you've got that. Also got EA Sports College Football 26 joining as part of EA Play. And then The Witcher 3 Complete Edition.
Nice.
Very nice.
Just a reminder that if you had the original The Witcher 3, your save file is not compatible with Complete Edition.
No, it is not.
So
why I'll be playing that game twice.
There's no shame in that. Most of us have played Skyrim on at least 7 different systems. So.
Oh, for absolute sure, I have played Skyrim on like 3 different systems and other formats of Skyrim that we'll talk about later.
Zero shame.
Next week, we are getting TCG Card Shop Simulator hitting game preview on the 24th.
Interesting.
That one could be
nice.
Unique. February 25th has Dice A Million on PC. And then February 26th, Towerborn sees full release with offline play. I believe it hits PlayStation 5 same day with crossplay.
What if there was a board game version of the video game TCG Card Game Simulator?
Jesus.
Right? You feel me? See where we're going?
Inception.
A few levels back.
But what about the movie version of the board game?
Joe, I like the way you think.
Adapted from the novel.
Yes, of course.
The novel, the board game, the video game, the toilet paper, the breakfast cereal.
Yeah, I think that covers all of them. March 3rd, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah. That's kind of a surprise.
Pretty nice addition. We just got a current gen upgrade of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 that also joined Game Pass. And we are getting 2 March 3rd. Very cool. And along with it, awesome. Final Fantasy 3.
Yay!
The original Final Fantasy 3 from the NES. So can't all be good news, though. We got to lose a couple of games. And we're losing some weird ones. We're losing some games that have been on there a very long time. We're losing Monster Train, Expeditions, a Mudrunner game, Injustice 2, and Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I thought some of those were lifers. But yeah, those 4 will be on February 28th. And then also this week, PlayStation Plus Game Catalog got their update for the month. We forgot to cover this last week with the State of Play, so we'll just cover it now. On the 17th, they got Spider-Man 2. Nice addition. Nice. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Grant, did you play that one at all?
I did not. I was kind of waiting for it to stop being buggy and apparently start being fun, and I don't think it quite got there. I would like to try it at some point, but I don't have this
PS
service.
Plus,
but if I get back on there, I'll have to give it a shot.
There you go. Neva is joining PS Plus.
Very nice.
Season, A Letter to the Future. I'm not too familiar with that one myself.
Nope.
I think that was one where you played like journalist or something that was taking pictures right before the end of like the existence of something.
Sounds about right, probably.
Yeah.
Venba is joining.
Nice.
Venba's good. I like Venba.
Rugby 25.
That exists.
Yeah, it does. Echoes of the End.
Not bad.
And then Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2. That is a really solid month, and there's still people who complained about it.
Well, people are jackasses. So
yeah, everybody's going to complain.
They're like Season, Neva, and Venba. Ugh. Why, because they're indies? Go to hell. PlayStation Plus Premium is getting Wall-E on the PS2.
Okay.
That's it. Dusk Bloods for the Switch 2 is appearing on some regional Nintendo eShop stores, and a Finnish retailer possibly leaked a March 27th release date. That is the Switch 2 exclusive by From Software. It looks like that
I was
might
starting
just
to
be
see
right around
articles
the corner.
about that. All of the pictures that I saw made it look like a Dark Souls style game.
Yeah, it looks pretty Bloodborne-y. So it's like a multiplayer game, I guess. Is that what someone said? Isn't that in the trailer? I don't remember.
In the wake of the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2 being announced, Konami delisted a handful of games. Peace Walker on the PSP and Vita. Yes, the shop was still active. Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3. Yes, the shop was still active. And Peace Walker HD on 360, backward compatible, are all now delisted. If you want to play Peace Walker HD, you're going to have to get a disc.
Well, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But their pachinko business is still thriving.
They're having a hell of a resurgence lately with the games they've been putting out. So Konami's turning themselves around big time. And we get to cover a lot of their games. Replaced from Sad Cat Studios and Thunderful has been bumped to April 24th on Xbox and PC.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
And then the last bit of news I have is that Todd Howard has basically sneakily confirmed that a PS5 port of Starfield will be revealed soon. Shocker, I know. But if you didn't like it or found it boring the first time around, this isn't going to change your mind.
That's his words, right?
Yeah.
They're also getting like a major update for Starfield soon, which I haven't read too much into it yet. Just that there's supposed to be some major overhaul or something, or maybe it isn't an overhaul. I don't know. They're doing some big updates to it. So
they are, but that's basically why he said if you didn't like it the first time around, or if you found it boring, this won't change your mind. But we'll see. Maybe now that it's going to be on PlayStation, people will give it a fair shot.
Hopefully.
That's the news.
I thought it was fine.
That's the news I have. Aki, I know you've got some news you're dying to talk about.
Yep, and that's going to be safe for the last part of my news.
Okay, well, it's your turn, so do what you want.
Okay, well, first off, some shitty news, because, woo, I like shitty news. Shitaro Ida of Castlevania and Bloodstain fame has passed of cancer.
Yeah. That was on my list, too.
Yeah. At the very least, everyone around him knew about it, because he was told back in late 2024 that what he had sadly was going to be terminal. So there's at least that. It wasn't some like, oh, he's suddenly gone and everyone's like, what? So at least there's that. People got to prepare a little. And then Hideki Sato of Sega, he was one of the big hardware designers over there that designed basically all of the consoles. He died. It was old age. He was like 75. So again, not a big shocker. And now on to better news, because man, too many people die. Avowed is getting a big old anniversary update. It's going to be adding New Game Plus. It's going to be giving you some.
It hit on Tuesday, the 17th.
Oh, I didn't realize it was quite out yet. Okay,
nice. Out now.
Yeah, for people who want to see it, you might want to start a brand new game, because you got brand new races to play as, new customizations for like the weird plant shit that's growing out of your head and things like that. There's been all sorts of updates to allow you to have access to enemies respawning, some of the different resources that you find around respawn, to make the game a little easier, because originally when the game came out, everything you picked up, it never respawned. Enemies, some of them seemed like they respawned occasionally, but had low drop rates for things, so you really had to figure out what weapons you wanted to upgrade, and only those, because you didn't have enough to really fuck about too much. They have changed that. The funny thing is,
I got like a really good sword near the beginning, and I never used anything else.
Which is fair. Depending on your gameplay, there are a lot of really special weapons that you get from like bosses and stuff, and that you can just find around that are really, really good throughout the entire game. So hopefully you found one at the beginning. Now you can fiddle with all of them. And then, lastly, well, no, I have two bits of news. Soon, Greedfall 2 is coming out, and I'm just excited for that, and I just wanted to tell everybody that, just in case that wasn't on your radars. The first game was amazing, the second game looks like it's going to be awesome, and that's all there is for that. And then
can we discuss how gross the next month of releases is?
God, there's so much. So much.
This... From February 26th to March 27th, okay? This is what's releasing of note. Resident Evil Requiem, Tales of Berseria Remastered, Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered and Legacy of Kain Ascendance, Greedfall The Dying World, Toxic Commando, Monster Hunter Stories 3, MLB The Show 26, Dragonkin The Banished, Crimson Desert Deluxe, Screamer, and Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. In a month.
Entirely too many things.
And that's not including some other good indies that I know are supposed to be coming out there soon.
Those are just the big names that are coming out.
Yeah, this year should be pretty good for games, because there's some that are coming out and then within a few months of that even that are going to be really good. There's so much coming out this year.
And then May, Forza Horizon 6.
Oh my god! Continue.
I'm so excited.
And then my last bit of news is about a game not coming out this year, but hopefully next year. CyberConnect 2 is making a brand new .hack game. Yeah, I'm super excited. And they've been given complete control over it. 100%. They're making it. They're making all the decisions on their own, which is fucking awesome. And it's going to be a brand new campaign. They said that isn't really going to be attached to any of the prior games, so you don't have to play the earlier ones to understand what's going on. It's all brand new people. It's set, I think, 10 years after the last game. So, yeah, it's made more so new people can get into it, since, you know, the game's only existed for like 20-ish years or something.
Yeah, let's hope that it hits all platforms. They didn't announce any platforms yet.
I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping CyberConnect puts it on everything to help get that game a new audience. And yeah, they got the permission from Bandai Namco to self-publish.
I am so excited, and they've put out stuff. They're like, you know, we're putting this is really a labor of love for us. We're putting everything we can in. You know, the only risk that we have, because no one's telling us what to do, the only risk we have is financial, and I'm really hoping it ends up being a success for them, because I fucking love .hack. They're very simple, but very fun games. And, like, there are so many nods just in the trailer for this. For anyone who's played the prior games and watched the anime, it was fantastic. Oh, I literally cried. It was so good. Oh, and that's all my news. I'm so fucking stoked.
All right.
Could you explain the series to folks who may not have actually played or heard or like actually seen the series? I've seen that name so many times over the years, but I'm not entirely familiar with what it is.
Have you ever watched or played Sword Art Online?
I have not.
Okay, that's usually how I explain it to people, because usually people have seen that. Okay, basically, this is a giant MMO that people put headsets on, and they more or less virtually go into this world, not through just screens, but through their brainwaves and shit. And for some reason, some people start getting trapped in there and dying in real life, and that's basically what these games are about, is your hero trying to stop what's causing that by playing the MMO.
Dang.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I love this shit. This shit, this and Mecha, these are like my things, yo.
Very cool. Thank you for explaining that.
Yep.
All right. Bri, what news do you have?
I'm surprised that this wasn't on Aki's list, and maybe Aki can help explain better. After almost a year of being out, Assassin's Creed Shadows got a jump button, which sounds silly, but it's a manual jump button out of the parkour system. Can you explicate that a little?
Yeah, I actually forgot about this because I just learned about it literally last night.
I just learned about it right now.
Yeah, so basically in Assassin's Creed, because obviously you're doing all the parkour, climbing up buildings and stuff, they have a very simple system where you just run towards something and you hold A and you go up, and you push B and you go down. Basically because that system has never worked amazingly well. For some reason, they decided to allow you to just hit the A button to jump just whenever you want in order to help you get around more easily in this game, because there's a lot of the places are like single floor buildings, so jumping from building to building, they wanted to get people to really feel like all the old ninja movies and stuff, so they gave the ability to be able to jump whenever you want instead of just for parkour stuff, which is an automatic thing that you don't have a ton of control over. This just fine-tunes the control a little bit. I haven't actually fiddled with this yet because it is something you have to go into the options to manually change. However, for anyone who has Assassin's Creed Shadows, they are accepting like 50, 60 second videos, I think, of you doing parkour, and like the top 5 people are going to get prizes for having the coolest stuff.
Yeah, it's called the Community Parkour Challenge, and they have that as part of the update that came out on the 17th. So yeah,
that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to actually going in and fiddling with that, because it does seem like that could be cool, because I just want to jump from building to building now, because that's fucking awesome looking.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm chiming in here because I've actually trained parkour. Do they let you choose your moves beyond just jumping, like vaults and thief vaults and spin vaults and lazy vaults? There's several different ways to go from point A to point B.
No, in all of these games, in some of these games you have multiple ones, but it's chosen at random. You don't get any impact on that. In lots of these games, it has a very specific one that it just does, and that's the only one. So they don't give you a lot of difference in these, sadly.
It's just not much of a challenge when you can't choose if you're going to do a Kong versus a speed vault or whatever. It's like you're just gonna,
Well,
can you see why he tore his ACL now?
Yeah. Well, I thought we already established that, old guy. But yeah, the reason why they don't have you choosing that kind of stuff in this game is because realistically, most people are using that either just to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, or because they're trying to escape enemies, and pausing it every time you get to like a waist high fence and being like, which one of these do you want to do? That would drive people mad pretty quickly.
Well, I agree for the game, but if you sound like you mentioned like there was a challenge of sorts, I didn't know if it was for the challenge there was a chance to
Yeah, no, the challenge thing is just doing it in the in-game world with their little jump button. So that would be cool.
All right,
I never played Shadows. I played a lot of the other games, but not Shadows, because they were kind of more the same for me. It was like Black Flag I loved because every mission felt different, and then I played like other games that was they all kind of felt more like less varied and less intricate, and more of a copy paste. So I don't know. There's my
That's fair. I really like them. I've played all of them, and I've 100%ed almost all of them.
She's kind of crazy.
Black Flag, Syndicate, Unity, and then I got to a few where I played, and I didn't care enough to beat them, like Origins and Vikings, or whatever the Vikings one was called. I was kind of
Valhalla. That's one of two that I haven't 100%ed.
Once Valhalla got into building villages and raiding monasteries over and over, I was kind of like, Not to get off topic, sorry.
Chris, you should just come down and like take all my Assassin's Creed statues. You have room for a bunch?
Them to me for free.
I can't ship that many. Do you know how expensive that would be?
Oh,
do you know how big those freaking boxes are?
No, actually, I have absolutely no idea. I figured maybe they were a foot tall.
Are you watching?
Speaking of which, Joe, you should do Flag Fest again.
Where
I should for Flag Day. That was fun.
You do Flag Fest.
Yes, I am now. Okay.
You're watching the stream? Okay, let me switch to my camera feed. That box right there, the red and black one, that is one of them. That big white box up on the shelf, that's another one.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Assassin's Creed box over here is another one.
Okay, I figured they'd be more like that one size. That okay. I thought all of them would be about that big. Those other two are much bigger.
And that's just 3.
Damn, I want those so bad. You have no idea.
Yeah. Well, get a U-Haul and come visit.
Exactly.
About fucking need one for them. You have so many. You have what, like 9 different statues?
Statue? Okay, 1, 2.
Assassin's Creed statues, I guess I specified just in case, because it is you.
Yeah, I think it's 9. The one's broken though.
Yeah, that makes me sad. That was the Origins.
I'm so bummed about that one. Yeah, the Origins. Oh, that hurts.
Have you got the Doom one with the dude on the fan with the light? What's this?
I do.
One of the bad. Yeah, that's a good one. Sell me that one.
You want it?
Yeah, I want it.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Talk after the call.
All right, for my next bit of news, I need Purnell in here.
Oh.
What? Just a
fucking yeah.
That works. All right. Final Fantasy is making a board game.
Yay!
Tabletop board game out of Final Fantasy. It is aimed at the pixel remaster era to tabletop.
That's appropriate.
How fun is that?
The pixel
Nice.
aesthetic.
Yeah. So there's I'm sure more info out there that I could get if I can get my hands on it later on. But that is probably going to go on my list of board games to get for the house. Pretty cool.
Calling back to something you mentioned earlier, there is a Seventh Guest board game.
There's also a novel, and I had that at some point. I got rid of it after I read it. I think I remember seeing that. I never got the novel, but I do have the board game, and they even made a Seventh Guest Infection playable board game where it's the actual the little microscope puzzle.
Microscope. They're both fun. I have both. I don't play them often enough, but the Seventh Guest board game does have a lot of good puzzles. And on that topic, Seventh Guest VR, if you have for the PS5, is actually.
I wish I could do VR. It messes with my head.
Oh, yeah. But Seventh Guest VR is not the original game done in VR. It's a whole new game. It's all new puzzles, all new story, same idea, same theme, but really good game. And it was made for VR. So you're doing things with your hands that you wouldn't do if it was just a port. Like you're grabbing things and twisting them and spinning them and pulling them apart. And it's really good.
Have you played the 13th Doll, the fan game?
Not yet. No, is that done? I thought I heard that.
I have it. I haven't played it yet though. I got away from it. So I was curious if you'd played it. But
I thought I kept hearing that it was they're still working on it. It's like, well, when it's done, I'll check it out.
I think it's been out since 2019, 2020, something like that. So yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. Next bit of news I have is Bloober Team fans. They've announced for the 10th anniversary that they're going to be doing a Layers of Fear 3. They've got it in development. That was pretty cool.
I like those.
Yeah.
A lot.
And then this is kind of a conversation piece, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it just falls flat. But RAM is in crisis. And I really feel like we need some sort of news bulletin crisis music here.
Oh. Well, let's see. What kind of music options do we have?
Movie Watch Ball Squad.
Pretty much.
We could go with it's what will we call the segment?
This is some fucked up news.
There's some fucked up news.
Yeah. So yeah, RAM is in crisis. The prices are going up. They're diverting their resources to other outlets to make money for the companies making the RAM, and it's screwing over consumer electronics and things like that. Xbox and PlayStation are now talking about moving their new consoles to somewhere in the 28 to 29 range. The Steam box is being delayed. Switch 2 is talking about raising prices. What the fuck?
One of these companies just needs to start making RAM themselves.
Yeah.
And then just sell it to video game people and tell the AI people to go eat a bag of dicks.
I hate this
In other
timeline
news,
with AI.
I have a beautiful set of RAM sitting right here that is like a spare that won't fit in my computer that I feel like I could probably sell and go buy a car with. So,
Maybe.
If
give
anyone's in the market for
about
high
8
speed
months and you can.
32 gigs of RAM. Geez.
One of the developers quit. One of the producers of RAM, they just closed their doors. Another one has moved completely into only AI. There was 3 major ones. So about 60-ish% of the worldwide total is now fucking gone.
Yep.
Thanks, AI. I just got to say, it feels kind of vindicating against all those PC Master Race people. Where's your cheap PC now, bitch?
Yeah.
But all you console people are going to suffer too because they need RAM as well.
Yeah, I already have mine and I don't have to upgrade it for another couple of years. But if people want to play new games this year, they might have to upgrade their PC.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't been able to make.
I say, especially with hard drive prices and SSD prices going up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's finally starting to seem like the Xbox expansion cards aren't too overpriced anymore.
Well, and it's getting expensive to get graphics cards again. So, yay.
Well, it's always something usually, right? It's either the processors or the RAM or the graphics cards or the storage. Except now it's
all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, it hasn't been cheap to make make a cheap little good computer. It hasn't. That hasn't been for a while because graphics cards were a bitch, and right before that, it was processors were a bitch, and now it's everything's a bitch. So, like, no. When I was in high school, it used to be real easy to make a nice, cheap, really good computer. Since I got out of college, though, that's not really been a thing.
Well, it depends on what you compare it to. If you still roll your own machine, it's going to cost you significantly less than buying something Alienware branded, for example.
Well, yeah, you compare anything to Alienware and it's cheaper, but that's because Alienware sells like $5,000 computers that are pieces of shit that a fucking one that you pick up from Walmart that's just a base one is about as good. Alienware, you're paying for the fact that it is Alienware. True. Not for it to actually be.
I'm happy with the pre-built
anybody
I got
who pre-manufactures something way more.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the pre-built I got at Best Buy right when COVID was happening. Still serving me well.
I built my Frank computer, but it needs a graphics card because I'm still working on a 1650 with like 4 gigs of RAM, and it's not enough to play games I want to play for the show.
Sell that RAM. Buy a graphics card.
I don't know if my graphics card is good because I don't know if graphics cards are good or not.
Fair.
Because I don't know anything about computers. I have, what is it? An NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti.
That's not bad.
Better than mine.
It's not the top, the highest top of line, but it's pretty good.
I have no idea what that means. And then I have 32 gigaborks of RAM.
Nice. You have more RAM than I do.
I know. I bought them when they were cheap. 4 sticks of 8.
Yeah, I got 2 sticks of 8. I think I got 16.
And they have fucking lights on them. What do you think of that? Because everything needs lights.
On RAM sticks?
I fucking hate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have lights on my RAM too.
And the four of them, they're like glow in patterns. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Remember that just amazingly terrible box art from the old days of graphics cards with like cyber people and shiny skeletons and shit? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The PC tech aesthetic is not. It's just shifted slightly. It's like every gamer PC is wearing Jinkos, basically.
I miss the good old days where all your computer parts, none of them lit up, and you had a big old hunk of metal that you could throw off of like the 5th story of a building, and while the shit inside it might break, that case would probably be mostly okay. I miss that. I don't like these, 90% of this is made out of glass, so you can see all the flashing, flickering bullshit lights that I have no interest in.
Yeah.
But the only way you got onto the internet in that day was through a 14.4 modem, so there's trade-offs.
Yeah. I miss the dubstep sounds when you connect online.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
I miss those old BBS days. No, I don't.
All right. Any other news?
I don't miss BBS days either.
One last bit of news, and I was coming to post it in the Discord, and I saw that you had posted it, Joe. So I was really sad because I thought I had something here. I saw an announcement trailer for a game coming to Steam with mature themes called Become. It is a third-person adventure where you're a sperm swimming your way to an egg.
Oh, that's great. That's so funny.
That could be hilarious.
It is humorous and cute, and it's
so glad
all
you
about
chose
that
this
journey.
is one of your news bits for the week.
I thought this was great.
Wow.
It looks ridiculous.
Just the name. Like, it's just...
Become.
Everything about it.
Wow.
You get to become. That's so good.
No, so that's on the wish list for when that comes out. Yeah.
I know, right? That game looks
supposed to be this year. Yeah.
Looks so dumb.
George, any game news on your end?
Not a darn thing.
Grant, what about you?
I got stuff. I'll fly through it. You ready? Ready? Here we go.
Do it.
My most anticipated game at the moment just got delayed. It was this game called Replaced, which is like a 2D pixel art kind of Blade Runner game. And I almost wonder if they delayed it to get out of that March pile of games. It's been pushed to April 14th, so not that far.
24th.
But it was pushed a month.
I'm still excited for that game. I've been excited for that game since it was announced like 8-9 years ago.
Yep.
I mentioned that earlier. You missed it.
Yeah. That happened. Resident Evil Requiem's leaked, so get off the internet.
No,
that's too bad.
Want it to be leaked.
I already got suggested a video that was like really interesting things Requiem does in gameplay. Like it's already kind of people posting footage and stuff. So just stay off the internet for blacklist all your Resident Evil terms if you don't want to get spoiled and stuff. I mentioned that the Pokemon Pinball machine got made, right?
Yeah, I talked about that last week on your behalf.
Did you? There you go, girl. There you go. Cool. That's the thing. And then the Virtual Boy came out for the Switch. I don't know if you guys talked about that. Did you talk about that last week?
We talked about the fact that it was coming when it was announced, but I haven't played it
Chris
yet.
got one.
It did.
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah, I got the cardboard one, like the cheapy one, not the giant overpriced plastic $100 thing with no controller. Any questions?
How is it?
It's just like the Virtual Boy. Exactly.
So bad?
I mean,
that
how
could
is
be
it
good.
with a cardboard visor? Like, is it comfortable or is it weird?
Well, you put the controller, you put the whole Switch into it, and then you like hold the Switch with the Joy-Con on it, and then hold it up to your face. So you sort of like put your elbows on the table and sort of put the Switch really close to your face. So it's not
playing a periscope.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's like playing a. What do you get those 3D Viewmaster or something, right? Like you're just it's like
wow.
I'm trying to think of an old man reference. Did it work? Is that cool? Sweet.
Old man.
Oh man.
So you put it up to your face like the thing you put the penny in, and it shows you the pictures real fast. You know,
you go down on the lever and it spins and it shows you no picture.
Nickelodeon, all I want is
Yeah. So Virtual Boy is basically just like that. You can change the size of the screen, so you can make it zoom out or in, make it a little bigger or smaller, which is different. And it's got a lot of lens. What do they call that in VR? Where you get a lot of glare from the lights glaring off of the magnification lenses. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the God rays, I think they call them. You get a bit of that because it's not just the vector pixel flashing into your eyeballs like the Virtual Boy is. But it's very convincing. It works very well. The games, a couple of them are kind of fun. You're going to play each one for about 15 minutes. So I'd say it's worth it for $25 because they're going to add like 12 more games or whatever. And I've never gotten to play some of these Virtual Boy games, so I'm kind of excited.
Some of them are unreleased titles too.
Yeah, some are unreleased, which is pretty cool.
I don't think there were that many to begin with.
No, there weren't. And there's two that coming out that never saw the light of day, and they look really cool. Like one looks kind of like Jumping Flash, but from the top, and it looks neat. I don't know. So it's all right. You just got to pay some money.
I hope we get Nestor's Funky Bowling.
Didn't know that was a thing.
I would get it just for that.
With Nestor from Nintendo Power, remember him?
I remember.
Oh yes. Oh gosh, the hair, the three strands of hair sticking up in the air. Yep. And then I got one movie watch thing, but I don't know if y'all covered it or not.
Give me a second. Let me get there. Where is it? It's movie watch. There.
In movie watch, Markiplier's.
You never heard that, George?
I had not heard that. Do it again.
It's movie watch. There.
You know the best part of that?
Good job, drug addicts.
You know the best part of that is, Norg, that he does the fifth root, and then goes down an octave.
Dude, he's a natural bass.
I did not have to pitch him at all. It was absolutely perfect. Joe has the voice of an angel. It's important everyone knows that. Dude, for movie watch.
I'm a good singer, or at least I was before all the smoking, but I was a good singer. I just never got any chances to show what I got.
Well, you're doing it now. Home
There it is.
Let's do a song, Grant.
Let's do a song. Let's go.
Gravity Kills.
Anytime. In the meantime,
underwater.
Gravity Kills. Holy crap.
Dude, I talked to the singer from the band.
Did you?
I do. I always
wanted
a happy birthday.
I always wanted to. What's interesting? I always wanted to talk to the keyboard player who had that giant keyboard that would pivot on like a hinge, and he would jump and like swing the keyboard around the stage. Anyway, Markiplier's Iron Lung movie. Did you guys talk about that?
No,
we talked about it a little bit last week.
Did we?
It made a zillion $1 million.
Yeah,
it cost $3 million, and it's made about 45.
Damn.
And it's because he has fans that will go see
that's
his
up
stuff
from opening weekend,
times.
so that's good. Yeah.
It's like I was in another Discord server where a bunch of his fans were in there, and they're like, "I'm going to see it tonight," and they're like, "I've printed my 3D printable popcorn bucket," and then they went to the movie, and they were like, and then they were like, I saw it, and then the other person was like, "I saw it too," and I was waiting for like a movie review, and and the other first person's like, "I think I'm gonna go back and see it again, see what I didn't see." Like nobody would review it; they were just like. Wanting to give him money. Apparently it's just okay, but it's also surprisingly good for what it is. It's just too long. He's the only actor in the movie. He wrote and directed it, and he's a really cool dude, so I'm pleased about that. And it made 10 times its budget plus some. So
what's the plot if he's the only person in it?
It's a movie based on the game Iron Lung, which is a 20-minute sort of kind of indie game. Was
the name of the creator of the game, I believe. Yeah,
it's a game where you're in a submarine that you're a convict that is being sent down into a giant ocean of blood on another planet inside of a submarine to do research. It's very scary. It's very lo-fi, like PS1 graphics, and it's only 20 minutes long. And Mark Lamar liked it so much he wanted to option it for a movie, and he made it himself. And over several years, so
damn, good
there you
for
go.
Him.
Good for him, right? And the game's kind of fun. It's like $6 if you want to be scared under in an ocean of blood.
About Markiplier, he used to have a ViewBot that I had to ban on everybody's channel.
What does that mean?
Really?
Yeah, on Twitch there was a ViewBot, and that was one of the ones that I used to ban constantly because it was a ViewBot.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious!
It would create itself as a viewer that you wouldn't get credit for on varying channels, and that was one of the old ViewBots was Markiplier.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if it was his or someone else with that name, but that was one of the bots.
ViewBots, like
I think the idea is you see people in a small channel and you think, oh, who's that? Oh, hey, look, they're a streamer, and then you go see their channel. I don't know.
Oh, so he was. I mean, God, he's had 30 million subscribers for about 10 years. So I don't think he really needs that. But so it's probably maybe it's just someone trying to be, clicking like calling their own channel that. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah. Anyway, weird. Anyway, and then that's it.
Cool.
Hey Joe, I lied. I am looking forward to one game.
Who are you looking forward to?
Mina the Hollower.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Cannot wait.
I thought it was out. Is it not out?
No, they delayed it.
And, yeah.
There's a PlayStation 5 playable demo available, I think, right now.
Yeah, I think I played a demo on PC, I think. So, wow, it's not out yet, huh? Wow.
It's a new demo for exclusive demo for PS5. They had another demo previously on PC.
That's what I played.
But yeah, that's what I played as well.
Cool.
Me and my Switch 2 are just waiting. Itching.
Mm-hmm.
Itching.
You should probably get some cream for that.
I got you when it's time.
Just enjoy the itch.
Cream where it itches. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, should we get to reviews? We got some games we got to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to split the kids who are having a sleepover and they're about to bust back in here and it's going to get bonkers.
Listen here, fuck snort.
We love you.
Dude, I'm talking to myself. That's
That's yours
forgetting
too.
I do that shit. There we go.
Wow. Just like the real
sound
thing.
effect is him.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
I'm like starstruck. It's weird.
Yeah, this really is him.
You might need a bandage for that. Jeez, I forgot you had that.
Guy,
Yeah,
that
this is
ribbon mic.
this is the shitty
cricket.
Discord one.
Oh, fuck that. Sorry. No, it's all about the...
Yeah,
it's like a cricket with bass, right?
It's
a cricket
bass
that'll rattle your
cricket.
18s.
No alto crickets here.
No. No way. Big cricket. Big cricket. That's it. That's our next band.
Big cricket.
Kaiju cricket. Kaiju cricket sounds like...
Cricket.
Kaiju cricket does sound like a game, like an indie game, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for letting me hang out. Good to talk to you, Chris. Good to talk to you, Jane. I can't even talk anymore.
We love you, George. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
All right, let us get to reviews. We're starting things off with a sound clip. Pinball FX, Bethesda Pinball, developed and published by Zen Studios. Released January 12th as DLC for Pinball FX and Pinball M for $14.99. There are different cross-buy restrictions based on the platform you buy it on, so do your homework before buying. I know, for example, if you buy it on Xbox for M, you also get it on FX. So there you go. Stay alive in the stunning yet hostile environments and 3 fantastic tables inspired by iconic Bethesda franchises. How do you want to handle these? Should we go one by one?
Yeah, why not?
I actually kind of want to ramble on something first.
Okay.
This was actually my first time playing Pinball M. I have no idea why I waited this long to take a peek either, because it's totally up my alley with the horror stuff.
Yeah,
like basically, if it's bloody, skeletal, full of tentacles, or otherwise gory, it's an M table, right? And like some of the tables, they're on both, which is great. But the M side of things is like also mature. It's like it's all grown up in other ways where there's like more depth to the content because they've got all these like challenges and campaigns and extra things you can do with the tables. And I am totally into M now.
That's great.
M is a great package.
Well, it was awesome. I feel like I can't tell you what they are, but I do feel like there is some quality of life stuff that's in M that they haven't quite brought back to FX.
Yeah, well, and then you get collectibles and skins and stuff for your tables, and then they have the play corner.
Yes,
which
the play
is
corners are
like
rad.
individualized. For, oh my gosh, I love it! I love it so much. All right, yeah. Now
I'm
we can talk
happy
about
you
the
found
table.
the joys of Pinball M because it's such a great package base game.
Yeah.
I think it was right after that came out that Bri, you started playing the pen. It was not much longer after that came out. So you just kind of missed that. You missed that, whatever release that was. You probably you missed, and you're caught up otherwise probably.
Yeah, absolutely. And they give you the Wrath of the Elder Gods as like your free play one when you get it for free. So, and that was a great table to begin with. So this is check out Pinball M.
Hell yeah. Well, let's talk about these 3 tables. The first one, explore the secrets of the wasteland in a world decimated by nuclear war. Join factions, raid vaults, and collect bobbleheads on the Fallout pinball table. Tell us about this one.
I'll let you start.
Oh, well, I will say, first of all, that these tables are old tables that have been sort of remastered for Other M. What did I just say? Pinball M. Wow, that was a Metroid slip. Sorry. Not really thinking about Other M. So these tables come out. Actually, you know what, Joe? I looked up the podcast to see when you guys covered it, and I was not doing anything for you yet. These tables are 10 years old. Which is insane. I do not remember them being that old. It was right after Doom came out, which is Doom 2016, which is 10 years ago. So they look incredible. They have had a massive fresh coat of paint. They look really, really nice. I don't believe anything is different in terms of the way the games play. Speaking
and I didn't play the original versions of these, so yeah, you would know better than I would on that.
Yeah, I think the rules are pretty much the same. Sound package is the same. They still have the old style screens, the DMD digital dot matrix display style screens, which is supposed to emulate the games from the 90s. Everything's drawn with like black and white dots as opposed to it being like an LCD screen. And I kind of forgot that this era existed because it's been so long since they made the switch, but both Fallout and Skyrim have some similarities in that there's a bit of there's some RPG mechanics to it. For Fallout, you can select a companion, which will change some perks. You can buy stim packs. There's like a store, radiation resistant stuff, repairing armor. Depending on the kind of pinball player you are, there's a lot of stop and go in this table. I think it's the same with Skyrim. Like the goal is to kind of make progress and then make choices. So you got to kind of think about it a bit more like a traditional game in that sense. You're gonna be doing a bit of, let's say, menu diving in the screen when you lock balls to make decisions. But it very much is, it's the Fallout universe. It's very familiar to players of the game. I was never really a big Fallout guy. Actually, you know what? I was a Fallout 2 guy. I was a top down, more of an RTS guy. So I love the atmosphere, but I don't have as much familiarity with the 3D.
And I do have familiarity with, this is more based on Fallout 4 specifically. So it's got like, they're talking about the Minutemen and the railroad, and you've got companions that are familiar from that game. And then, you get to create your character, and it looks like, one of the main character base models. What else did I want to say about this one? Like, the call-outs on this table I thought were kind of fun, because like your super mutant gets bored if you're sitting there too long reading the table trying to take notes. And he's pretty fun. I feel like musically, like they took this from the score of the game, but it was missing some of the pizzazz because they didn't have the licensed radio hits from bands like the Ink Spots. So that was like a little sad point for me, but like I get it. It had bobbleheads, it had bosses. The vault opens up and takes your ball and puts you into one of the several vault numbered missions that makes the table go dark, except for like your lit objectives and stuff like that. Like I thought this was a pretty good adaptation to having like missions and side missions and going into the vaults as like a big feature of the story mission. And that's pretty fun. I feel like from a technical standpoint, this was like maybe one of the best tables in the bunch, but like it wasn't my favorite.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Yep.
It wasn't overly complicated. The table mission and goals were clear to me. But yeah.
Well, I
think they run into problems.
More. So let's also talk craft weapons, wield magic, equip armor, buy and sell goods, mine materials, find trainers, and complete side quests before defeating Alduin and fulfilling your destiny as the Dragonborn in the Skyrim pinball table. What is going on in this one, Grant?
Well, Bri, you kick this one off.
Okay, Bri, what's going on in the Skyrim table?
So yeah, holy crap, it's Skyrim. This was probably my favorite table. Let's just start with that. The design of the table I thought was really good thematically. The plunger is straight fire, which is to say that you make a dragon spit fire to propel the ball, which is just freaking cool.
That is freaking cool.
And there's like main quests and side quests. The main quest, you'll have one of them is like the dragon will literally fly across the screen, which totally caused me to lose my ball in the awe of that moment. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Side quests are things like hitting wolves. There'll be like a little wolf that'll pop up and you like want to try and hit it for damage, and besides just doing the regular cool things on the table. And this one I think was really cool, the RPG element, that you get to start out choosing your race. Anyone want to guess what I chose? Because it's probably pretty obvious. No? Khajiit. Yeah.
I was a cat one? You?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's a Khajiit, not a Tabaxi. Is Tabaxi the frickin' D&D one? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Did I get confused?
So.
I got confused.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
So
I was going to guess that. But I was going to say the wrong word. Continue.
Khajiit, yeah. So you can continue your adventure on later plays, and you can level up your character yay digital pinball. I'm actually like I'm in the tables right now because having time we've been talking for the last hour and change about stuff. What else do I want to say about this? Like, it had all the familiar music. It wasn't like a particularly high scoring table. I get what you're saying about the stop and start kind of thing. It's just I don't know. To me, it was a fun table.
Yeah, it's a good shooter. I think I do like the dragon stuff. Kind of like there's this Game of Thrones pinball machine from that, like a real life one where winter is coming is sort of a thing that would randomly sort of show up and you have to deal with. And the dragons are sort of similar there. I like that, like when the dragons come, you can't shoot certain lanes because they have fire in them. You got to shoot other ones. I love that kind of.
Nice.
I love that kind of. The way that it handles that. I never played Skyrim to the point of wizard mode or anything like that. I don't know exactly if the game has an end game or what. I just didn't get that far, so I don't know exactly where that is. And I found the game pretty understandable. I will say that my only complaint really about Skyrim, it's only because it's been so long, is that the menus are a bit difficult to, we talk about a table being readable, like shots and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The DMD is actually kind of hard to read. Like you're going to spend a lot of time digging down into menus using just flipper buttons. And like as a way to sort of navigate, make choices, back out one level, go into the next menu. So there's a bit of like menu diving in Skyrim that I think is more than a lot of games, and in more modern games with LCD graphics, it would be a little easier to kind of parse that. But you get used to it. It's just at first you're like, did I pick something or did I leave? I actually don't know.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of get used to that a little bit. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's quite good. It's not the first Zen pinball game to do progression. It was Epic Quest, which was one of their kind of like original games, which always was very, very fun, but was kind of slow. I think the best example of, I think still the best example of a continued progression game is their Gloomhaven table, which I think was part of like a game night pack. But I do think that if you like the idea of progression, game progression, Skyrim, Epic Quest, and Gloomhaven are all quite good for that kind of thing. And why not? You're sitting in front of the computer. It's a video game. You might as well put some more video game stuff in it. So I dig it.
All right, one more table. You got to fight your way through the UAC research facility, taking on hordes of demons to earn the Doom Slayer name on the Doom pinball table. This one sounds like it'd be the most enjoyable in Pinball M.
Yeah, I think this one is probably the most. I actually was trying to find differences between look for things that might just be M-rated, and I didn't really see anything. This game, they sort of rode the teen line with the old game too, so I don't know. There wasn't ever any language in the old games or anything, but there's not like a lot more viscera or anything. It's by far the most arcadey of the ones. I think that the rules are pretty easy to understand. There's some pretty interesting stuff going on with the bumpers. There's like bumpers and spin and spinning discs and a lot of things that you're sort of used to seeing in a lot of older tables. But I think honestly, like in the end, when it comes to the old pack and with this one too, I probably put the most time into Doom, even though Skyrim did have its progression. I just find the kind of the arcadey style of Doom and the aesthetic and to be really fun for quick play sessions. Also, they were able to get a lot of all of the sound package is also good in this game. I think it's because they were given a bunch of sounds by Bethesda for this, and they also include the Mick Gordon music. So even though I was worried when they re-released this table, they were not going to be able to use mixed music, but they could. So the old banger soundtrack from 2016 is still here, which is cool. So
yeah, to me, this was like a really loud and very busy table. And like, I have to admit, this is the IP I know the least about in this pack, but like, I've played a fair amount of old Doom games. I never really got into the modern games. They were loud and busy. So I guess they got that part right, from my perspective. But I kind of like that you got to choose difficulties on this. You have Hurt Me Plenty or Nightmare difficulty. I didn't try Nightmare difficulty, but I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the fun with the fun in it was that it was kind of chaotic. It just,
very much.
Yeah.
Yep. They nailed the theme. The little rune mini game is fun.
Splender's chainsaw.
Shots are pretty easy. Yeah, right. Yeah, Splender's chainsaw.
There's lots of like good audio of like shots going up. Oh, and there was like a ball save where it landed in a Gauss cannon and you had to shoot it back out, which was like really cool. I don't know how I did that, but that was cool.
If you like the chainsaw, you got to check out the Texas Chainsaw table on.
Yeah, you really should. It might be my favorite one in Pinball M. Actually, that Texas Chainsaw table.
It's very
good
fun.
One. Yeah.
So 3 tables. What do you think of the 3 of them? What do you think of the 2 versions between M and FX? Give us your thoughts.
My quick recap is that Pinball M is all grown up, and I think you should try it on M. There's more cool stuff that you can do, and the Bethesda pack is really fun. And
more achievements too. You get 3 per table on M and only 1 per table on FX.
Ooh,
weird.
Good to know.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I like all 3 of these tables. I feel like if I were to rate them in order, it'd probably be Fallout, Skyrim, then Doom at the top. But I like going back to Skyrim too. And I don't know if you guys have any interest, but I will say I did play these in VR as well. And I will say that they put some there's a nice beefy boy character next to you when playing the game, some sort of set dressing as well. Boy Doom guy looks real big when he's standing right next to you, I will say. But yeah, all the kind of like you talked about the big guy getting bored in Fallout, that happens like in real time when he's standing next to you. It's quite good. The thing about this if I have a Quest 3, one thing I will say is that the fidelity of these tables are quite high, and I found I had a lot of hitching in VR with these games specifically. Now I've had that with other games as well. Those other games allow you to kind of turn, like the old Williams tables give you the option to turn on all the kind of crazy 3D and extra sort of effects to make it more and they always seem to run better when you turn those off, and you don't really have that option with these tables. So they didn't run as well as I liked. They look great, but maybe that's something they're going to have to kind of patch or work on because they just came out. So
some optimization on VR,
perhaps. Yep.
All right,
just letting you know.
$15
before we go on. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh no, you were still doing the verdict. Sorry, I thought we were done with that.
Oh no, we're doing the actual verdict now because it's
okay.
$15 for the 3-pack. What do you 2 think?
Buy it.
They're classics.
Yeah,
I agree. Very good pack. I am very, very happy to see it back. It has been way too long. So,
all right. So now, before we go on, while we're here still talking about pinball, and I have Grant here, I just want to side note something. So Vintage Arcade doing the wedding after party and they just posted the other day on Facebook asking for preferences on pinball tables to acquire, and the options were Beetlejuice and Winchester Mystery House.
Wild.
Thoughts?
Yeah. New ones. Well, I haven't played either. I mean, I hear that the Winchester is the one that's kind of out in the wild the most, and I hear it's the company's best table. I also hear Beetlejuice might be Spooky's best table. So I think they're about the same price. But I haven't played either. Those are like the 2 newest machines. So I'm
voted
not sure.
Beetlejuice, and I hope that they get it in by the time I'm there for the party. But that's just because I'm a Beetlejuice fan. But
I live next to the Winchester Mystery House, and it's cool and all. And I think it's more of a cool, universal haunted house theme. But come on, my cat's name is Otho. I'm a giant Beetlejuice fan. I would absolutely have that in my house. That would be the one I want to play before. If they were sitting next to each other, I would definitely go to Beetlejuice. And there's a giant sandworm that moves up and down, and you shoot the ball in his mouth. So
because you say nice fucking model.
You may be. Hey, probably. I don't know. That company made it. They actually made a Texas Chainsaw, an actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre pinball machine. So they have no problems putting language and content in their game. So I'm sure that it's in there. If it's not, that's just wrong.
All right. Next up, Sovereign Syndicate, developed by Crimson Herring Studios, published by Zugalu North. Released February 2nd, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $19.99. Explore an open world in this Victorian steampunk CRPG. Plays 3 characters with branching stories that intertwine, investigate, interact, and take action to leave your mark on the world and its inhabitants. No random stat points here. Use your skills to level them up and trust your fate to our tarot card chance system. So how will you solve your problems? Combat, persuasion, magic, explosives. The choice is yours and all your cards are on the table, but be careful. The Docklands aren't for the faint of heart. Bri, how many people did you blow up?
Very few, actually.
Oh.
I know. It's sad. So yeah, I'm gonna ramble about this game. I don't know that it'll make any sense, but I'll try. First thing I want to say is kind of a content warning. This is a mature game with discussion of drugs and suicide, like right in the opening sequence. One of our main characters is an alcoholic and an addict, and he goes on like gin benders, and there's an opium den we use for negotiations, like right stuff like that. So just fair warning. This game has a top-down, like, isometric view. You can press Y and hold for hotspots, making this a little like a point-and-click. This is not an action RPG with tons of monsters to fight. This is really a narrative game, more in the vein of something like Citizen Sleeper, where it's almost all reading and exploring, and it's a lot of reading. So prepare yourself if that normally isn't your thing in a video game. Some of the conversation dialogue stuff reminds me a little of like the Thaumaturge or Rue Valley, just to name a couple games I played recently, in terms of how the sidebar conversation works. And you can use your skills to affect conversations there. But ultimately, what I heard from others while I was streaming this is that apparently I need to play Disco Elysium, because that was a comparison that came up a few times. But what I have heard from some other people who have played both games is that this is not Disco Elysium. But the comparison is there either way. So there you go. For the game's skill mechanic, instead of dice, it pulls tarot cards. And that somehow indicates your success or not. Numerically speaking, it uses the suits. You pull from the minor arcana, which I swear I wrote in my notes as arcana, but it, auto-corrected to arcane multiple times, and now I'm annoyed. Yeah. So the suits contain numbers 1 through 14. The deck also includes major arcana cards, specifically the Fool and the World, which are either a fail or succeed, respectively. Always. They will always be a fail for the Fool and a succeed for the World. Sometimes you'll have different skill checks based on your skill, like animal instinct to break a lock versus self-discipline to try and pick the lock. Like you can, just beat things with a hammer, and that's totally a viable option. You can try to do things the quiet, more sophisticated way with one of your characters. And if you fail at picking the lock, you might still be able to smash it and get through. So sometimes there's alternate paths to things. The text box also reads out the skills that come up, like Atticus's Spryness tells us things automatically. The major arcana card are things that we gain through the story. And they attach to our characters and give us actions and traits, like the star gives us our Spryness trait for Atticus. I'll explain all these characters a little later in my notes, because my notes are very, very confusing today. Conversations between people are in different colors oftentimes. And we have like voices in our head, like the old crone, and we get an avatar thumbnail next to the text to help you understand what's going on. It's like these feelings personified, right? And these are the voices in your head, the angel and the devil in your shoulder kind of thing. Your self-discipline and your animal instincts are voices in your head that will give you skill checks as well as different dialogue options. And when you make choices based on the voices, like your self-discipline versus your animal instinct, it slowly raises your levels in them, leading to choices further down the road, if that makes any sense. You have temperament representation of your character's mental state, like desperate and weary to optimistic and hopeful. Kind of like something like Pathologic 3 that I played recently, where your dialogue choices are only available based on some of your mental health state. And then there's a bonus system for things like phlegm and hope and black bile and yellow bile and blood. There's stats that read like your humors and such, and you have to balance your humors or it will affect your mental state.
Did you say phlegm?
Yes.
Are we back to snot talk?
We are. We're back to snot
talk with Bri and Aki.
Mm-hmm.
And Grant.
Yeah. So you balance your humors. And if you don't, the voices in your head will be like at odds and they'll give too much leeway to one side or the other or will strengthen them to potentially dangerous amounts. So I'm calling this a bonus system because sometimes this comes into play and sometimes it doesn't. And you can just really focus on the story elements. The background system seemed complicated to me, and if I'm being honest, like really some of them felt more for flavor than anything else that I really needed to worry about. So, but I feel like the world and the systems they created would make for a great tabletop RPG where I could do a little math and balance that myself. Yeah. So, phlegm and hope and humor and all that stuff. That's there. The writing in this game is excellent. Full of descriptions and antiquated verbiage that felt appropriate to the Victorian time period in the steampunk genre. The world is gaslit. It has relatable but unpleasant smells like mold and rotting fish. I wrote this quote in here as a good descriptive qualifier here. The centaur leers, his misshapen chin a shelf for his cigarette, jutting from a jangle of bad teeth. They really have some great writing in this, descriptive writing in this.
Yeah, that is a good use of words.
That is an image. Visually, it's dark and dingy. The color palette has grays and browns for the old London setting. It's coal smudge and brassy and full of gears. And then there's like lots of reds and greens that make for dark but interesting parlors. And then there's like pockets of steam coming out of places and fog effects. And then there's other parts of the game, like Clara's introduction, which is like bright and brassy and full of posh elements on a wealthy man's airship. And then there's like interlude scenes between they're like load screens, I guess, as you go into a different segment of the game. And it has excellent exposition and this like watercolor looking backdrop of the scene that you're loading into. There's good audio atmosphere with decent background music that fits the scenes well. And I haven't even talked about the story. So as I mentioned, the world is dingy. It's full of poverty and substance abuse. And there's like a serial killer on the loose that Scotland Yard can't seem to stop. And then there's like missing orphans we have to help find. And there's a cult that might be behind everything. And we have these three main characters, Atticus Daly, and he's a minotaur. There's centaurs in this as well. So lots of different range of things. He's a magician. And he wakes up with like a masked stranger over him, and he's been on a bender. And he doesn't want to get killed, even though he was just thinking about killing himself using this bender. But now that someone's hunting him, he's like, oh, well, now I don't want to.
You cut out for that. What would you say at the last part?
Oh, yeah. I was saying now that he's got someone hunting him, he doesn't want to die. So that's kind of how we start the story of the first chapter, the first character. And, this mysterious stranger that's hunting us, like, wants to know about our history in an orphanage, about a mother we can't remember. It's a very intriguing hook. In the next chapter, we meet Clara Reed, and she's all about her intuition. Her significator is the Emperor. And she also has like voices that are personified in her head, but instead of wit and self-discipline, she has things like grace and tact as her stats. She's a high-class hooker. She's a courtesan. For a really rich cyclop named Silas Bragg, and he has an airship. And really both Atticus and Clara are kind of trying to escape their lives for different but similar reasons. And this is also a quote from the game, loose lips sink airships. Yeah, but she's got to find out information from various sources. She's got her ear to high society hijinks as well as the lowborn lowdown. And then we meet through Clara, our third character, Theodore Redgrave. He's an engineer and he has Otto. And then we get into his chapter later. The game's story is broken down into 18 chapters that focus on like the different characters who interact with each other sometimes in separate but interwoven stories, leading to a bigger conclusion. I was gonna say most of the achievements are for completing the main story, which is split into the 18 chapters. There are some for completing specific side quests and collecting things like cards and gin and fans and things. And it looks like there's at least 2 playthroughs required to get the true completion of the game, because there's opposite choice point achievements for like joining the Syndicate or refusing.
Aki would hate that.
Yeah. It does have an autosave as well as manual saves. I'm just like getting to the tail end of my notes of things to talk about that I wanted to talk about. It was an interesting game that I enjoyed, but it made for a terrible stream game for me when I played it there.
I was going to say, this doesn't seem like too good of a stream game.
It was not. It was not fun for streaming for me, but it is an interesting game, and if you like narratives, like strong narrative games, this is really cool and something I think you should take a look at. But there were parts that didn't work for the game for me. Like it felt like it was missing something, or there were elements that were like repetitive. And yeah.
Well, it's a $20 game. What do you think of it?
All in all, I'm going to give this a try it. I feel like it gets an A for setting and writing, like thematic language and dialogue. It gets a C for maintaining my interest. Like aspects of the game got repetitive. You had to, if I can explain the repetitive thing, there's like,
it's just very wordy.
Yeah, well, it's not just that, it's that you go to some of the same locations over and over again, and there's like a fast travel you can use, but it kind of got, I don't know, there's just like, it slows down the exciting element of some of it at times, and it got to be a little bit of a slog in some places. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But all in all, the writing was excellent. Just maybe the game was lacking something that I can't put my finger on. So try it.
Sounds good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a good price.
Next up, CiniCross, developed and published by Hydrobates. It released February 11th on Steam for $11.99. CiniCross is a dark fantasy roguelite where nonogram puzzles meet dungeon crawling. Solve increasingly complex puzzles, choose your path through a branching dungeon, and bend the rules using powerful artifacts. Each room is a puzzle, each boss a deadly challenge. Grant and Aki, you covered this. Grant, not only did you cover this, but you brought this one to my attention. What got your attention with this one?
Well, I love, they call the generic name for them is nonograms, but it's Picross. Yeah. So Picross has been around forever. But I guess nonograms is the sort of technical non-branded version of that. And so someone basically made a Balatro like with Picross, which speaks to me. That's the reason I kind of had mentioned it as something that seemed interesting. Everything is being Balatroed. Aki, have you played this kind of, I mean, like, this is literally like my game. It's my turlet game. I always have a freaking Picross game on my phone. I own all the Picross S games on Switch. Like, I live it, breathe it. So what's your experience with this kind of game?
I've played a couple games like this, but not a ton of them. I'm more used to like Sudoku, so.
Yes, that's kind of
which is like close enough.
Yes, it is. It's in the same kind of family. It's about numbers, and it's same like Minesweeper. It's like gets into maybe sort of cross between Sudoku and Minesweeper.
Also, Joe, last week when I mentioned that there was some style of gameplay in the After Dark game I was talking about, that this was the style.
Oh, monogram. Okay.
I couldn't remember what it was called. I was trying to name it after the name of one of the games that I had played with this style of game in there, because I thought that's what it was called.
Wait, if it's Picross with a porn name, could it be Titcross?
Oh my god, that would have been perfect. Yes, that's its name now. Yes.
So anyway, CiniCross.
Yeah. Yeah, so this game it's a bit more in the Balatro camp than it is the roguelike camp, in that in most roguelikes you take some sort of currency out with you, like some sort of permanent currency that you use to upgrade yourself to make you stronger. This is a bit more in the Balatro camp, where in Balatro you update, you get new packs, you get new decks to play with, right? And this is very similar in that you get different classes of hero to pick from, and those classes have perks associated with them, and so you can pick different ones to play with to get further into these dungeons. It's essentially you're going down a dungeon. You can choose the path, the difficulty of your path. Along the way, you'll come across campfires to heal yourself. You can buy items, and at the end of finishing a puzzle, you are then given these sort of, what do they call them? They're not amulets. They're what do you call the things that you pull a little handle and you get random perks? Essentially, can't remember what they're called. Trying to blank.
Slot machine.
Yeah, it's like you basically get perks to. It's like a little slot machine, and you get these little perks that every time you finish a puzzle, you can get a perk to attach to your character, and they can stack. And then you also get items, and you also get coins to spend on things in stores. And the way that you have sort of a health meter and a timer that run all that sort of are all intertwined. So it's not particularly difficult. That's basically it. But it's about doing puzzles as quickly as possible, making as few mistakes possible, and then with bosses, they all have weird things about them. Like, Aki, how many bosses have you played? Like, how far have you gotten in this?
I've played through a couple full runs and a lot of failed runs.
Yes.
So,
yes,
not too far.
It can get hard. I mean, like, some of the bosses, like one of the bosses will basically every 10 seconds, he turns the board upside down. So you're reading numbers backward, upside down, in addition to it rotating the board. Sometimes a boss will every 5 seconds put a shield up for 3 seconds. So you can't, if you're solving a puzzle and trying to do damage and his shield's up, you won't do damage. So there's all kinds of different little strange things that the bosses might, and the bosses are basically just a sequence of puzzles with a health bar associated with it. Yeah, it can get tough. I mean, you have the option of choosing your difficulty of puzzle you want, depending on which path you go down. And I have played a lot of like 15 by 15, 20 by 20 Picross puzzles, but man, the amount of you better have a lot of time on your clock. You better have earned a lot of time before you dive into one of those, because they take a while. And for every they do, and
not fuck around.
Yeah, I mean, I got to one. I think I had a really good run, and I had like 12 minutes on the clock. And I was able to finish one of those big puzzles in time. And of course, if you finish one of the big puzzles, it's just a cascade of perks, tons of money, lots of items. Like, you get rewarded for going down the harder path.
Wow, those are great. 20 by 20. Jeez.
Yeah, big. Let's see. That's as far as the gameplay. I mean, that's about it. It's got kind of that lo-fi, minimalist synth soundtrack, kind of chunky pixel aesthetic. It's pretty attractive, pretty easy to read. What else, Aki? What am I missing? What do you think?
See, I really liked lots of the items that you could get from things. I'm just kind of sad that like there wasn't any like permanent upgrades other than eventually unlocking different characters, which I don't think I actually managed to unlock anything.
Yeah, I think I did. There aren't permanent upgrades. You essentially have to beat a boss to unlock a new class, and those you do get XP when you finish runs. I'm not quite sure exactly how the XP comes into play, because you're sort of filling a giant circle. I don't know
I got multiple levels in there, but I don't know what that did. It never explained that to me.
Yeah, I think that's something that may just unlock later, but you're filling up this giant circle, and it does unlock difficulties, and of course difficulties they're harder, and you get wilder perks. But I did unlock, you start with the peasant, and then I beat the third boss for that and got the soldier, And then I unlocked the archer. And they all are different. They're like different decks. They have like less health, but more time and some weird thing they do. The soldier has an interesting thing where if you don't know, if Minesweeper, as if you haven't played Picross before, you can put an X on a spot, there's a bomb, so you won't click it by accident. Well, you can put X's on here if there's not a block there. Well, this game won't automatically put X's in for you, but if you use the soldier, it does. So your games go faster. It will automatically mark off columns or rows that are solved for you. So you play a lot faster that way as the soldier. So every single class has a different kind of perk too.
There's 5 altogether, right?
I think so. It seemed like based on the tick marks, that's how many you're going to get. I just unlocked the vampire. So,
nice.
So yeah, it's neat. It's pretty much, everything is getting Balatroed, and I'm okay with Picross being the next victim because I freaking love Picross.
This game can be really fun, but it's also really, really easy to just suddenly lose because you have both your character health and your time, and some of the different items you get take away time, and some of the bosses are real pieces of shit that take away time every time you miss a square and stuff. And you can go from being like, I am doing superb to, oh, I just lost. What the fuck happened?
I mean, it's like
happened to my
these
last
games
run.
are all about the RNG.
Yeah, it's true. I think that there is an unevenness to the difficulty, that's for sure. And it is but it is all just like a lot of games similar to this. It is about the luck of the roll. And I will say there's some other things too. Like I accidentally clicked on a square because I was moving really quickly, and I didn't take my finger off the button. I was holding on that square. I was like, crap, this is the wrong choice. I wonder if I can just move my mouse cursor off of the board and let go to unselect that square I selected. By doing that, I selected every single square on that row, let my finger off, got them all wrong, and died. And I was having a very good run.
That screwed me over a couple times too. Yep.
Yeah, I actually posted to the Steam page just as a suggestion for the guys. Like, hey, maybe if you accidentally click a left click, maybe you hit the right click real quick just to unselect it. Something to kind of like putting your finger on a chess piece. What I phrased it was, you pull back the bow in Breath of the Wild, you can hit the B button to cancel. So you don't just shoot an arrow for no reason, that kind of thing. Like there's a couple of quality of life things they could probably work on there, I think. But
I know the last game I played, I was at the very last boss and I was like, I'm finally going to finish a full, complete 100% run. This is going to be great. Got into the boss. I had like 15-ish minutes, almost full health. I was like, I'm going to kick all the ass. And I died in the first puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
The attacks on it. Because after you finish a puzzle, you do damage to the boss, and then it pops up another puzzle. I had done a good chunk of the first puzzle and then screwed up a whole bunch of times, and it fucked me. And I was like, I was doing so good this entire game. I was like a shiny golden god, and I died to the last boss. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk.
It'll
price.
happen.
It is $11.99. What do you two think?
I mean, if you're a fan of Picross, it's an easy buy. If you don't know Picross and you don't know the mechanics of it, it might take you a little bit to get on board because there is a bit of it's got some difficulty hurdles. But I love it, and if you're familiar with that type of puzzle, I call it a buy.
I think this is a buy if you like Picross or you like puzzle games.
Yeah.
If you're not very interested in Picross games, this probably isn't the one you want to start with because it's significantly more complicated.
Yeah, this is for fans of the genre.
Yeah, so I think it's a buy it if you're a fan of Picross and puzzles. If you're not, I think this is a try it. Because I think it's still a really good game, but it's a lot harder to sell to everyone else. This is kind of a niche game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these games coming out are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like slots are slots, right? But like this is kind of a new thing. But then again, Balatro, some people don't know how to play poker, you know, and they had to kind of like figure out what suits were and everything. So, you know, people are smart. Though they can figure this isn't a very complicated concept.
People aren't very smart, but sure.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think some people are puzzle people, some people aren't. If you're a puzzle person, you could probably pick it up pretty quickly. But because the game is about speed, that could definitely be a problem for some people. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we got one last game with this group. That is the Stairwell, developed by Hidden Palace, published by Hidden Palace and Take It Studio. Released February 19th, Series X and S and PS5 for $5.99. It's your first day as a security officer in a mysterious building designed by an unknown architect. Within its vast stairwell, you are tasked with inspecting the floors for reported strange phenomena. Make your way through the building and carefully choose which way to go based on your findings. Bri and Aki, both of you covered this one. Real quick, give us the rundown. What is the Stairwell?
Okay, so in this, you're basically traveling through a stairwell over and over and over, and you're looking around at everything that's there. And then when you go to the next one, it repeats, but sometimes some things might be different and fucked up. And if it's different and fucked up, you got to get out of there. You can't continue on. You just got to get out of there because bad things apparently happen. And you're trying to do this correctly. The game says 10 times. It took me 15 before I was actually able to get out. So I'm going to go with 15 times instead. And to where at that point, then you reach the outside and you can beat the game. And that's really it. You're just looking around and making sure everything's the same each time. And when it's not the same, you leave through a different route. And
anything to add?
Yeah. So like you said in the thing, like it's your first day as a security guard. The last security guard like lost his mind and his dog.
That poor doggo.
And
I lost my dog in my truck and I ain't got no beer.
Yep, pretty much. But there's 3 different difficulties: normal, hard, and nightmare. And on normal mode, there's 10 regular levels and 5 additional levels that you have to go through in the dark, where you have a candle.
Okay, that's why it was 15 for me.
That's the 15, yeah. And like on hard, the number gets a little different. Like I think you only have to get to 10 levels on the second one or something like that. And there's less checkpoints as you go through on the harder levels as well, even though you have less levels to do. And like nightmare mode, you do it entirely in the dark from start to finish.
Oh, lovely. That one would be a bitch.
It's actually not that bad. The candle is pretty forgiving, and there's a couple of like light sources that are naturally in the room that are pretty decent in the dark, because there's still windows and things like that. But yeah, the gameplay was pretty forgiving in this one. On normal, like I said, you have 15. You also want to save the dog if you can, because the dog is part of the story. Anomalies can be like a hand instead of a handle, or a face hiding behind a grate, a door where there shouldn't be, a hallway where a door used to be. And there's some more wild ones, like getting close to the fish tank and suddenly finding myself in the tank and the whole level underwater. Yeah.
I have no idea how I got out of that. I just popped out of it at some point. I have no idea if there was something you're supposed to do, because I found that one while it was in the dark, and I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that would be confusing in the dark, especially. And there are things that can kill you, like a giant clown descending from the ceiling that encompasses the entire stairwell. Thankfully, there's a drop off in the stairwell that'll let you get down and report to the anomaly door quickly if you get there in time. You can try and run down the stairs, but the first time that you notice it's happening, you don't have time to run down the stairs because you're like, the fuck? The shortcut was available in general, and I found it to be helpful. I do have a complaint about the game. I wish the run button weren't on the left stick. I feel like I had to jam down the button, and for the amount of running I'd need to do in a scenario like trying to run all the way down the stairs from the clown, it would have been better to have it on like A or X or even a bumper or a trigger, in my opinion.
Or a hold to run?
You have to hold the left stick to run.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ugh.
Yeah, these games hate players.
That's a way you could improve it for the future. Just throwing that out there. Bumper trigger, AX,
toggle,
something.
if anything, if nothing else.
Yeah, or make it a toggle. Yeah. There were a couple of places where you had to walk into a weird hallway, up some unusual stairs to get to the next segment properly. Yep. I thought the anomalies in this were really fun and creative, and it also
the
has some
anomaly genre is
settings.
Interesting. Like it feels like it came out of nowhere, and now there's tons of them.
Yeah, and they're it's a fun genre. Some of them are harder than others. This one has jump scares in it that you can turn off, except for when you get to nightmare mode. You have to have the jump scares on to complete the game. So there is like a time where there's like a clown or something that will totally catch you and like throw you in a painting of a hallway or something. There's another one where I just totally got jump scared by a clown jumping out of nowhere, and yeah, you just kind of run away from it. Nice. It had some good settings like field of view, motion blur. You can, affect the gamma. It's got a camera shake option you can turn off. You can adjust individual sound meters like footsteps and user interface sound effects versus the game. And invert controls, look sensitivity, good stuff. Yeah.
Better fucking have invert.
I found this game surprisingly, actually, at least on normal, fairly easy. Because
it is.
There's a lot of different anomalies, and it really likes to use them. Because on my first run, I thought there was problems. I didn't actually see the correct problem, and I ran out thinking there was an anomaly, and there was an anomaly. And then on my second playthrough, I realized there was an achievement for running out and as though there's an anomaly when there isn't. And it took me until and I just kept running out, reporting an anomaly. It took me until floor 7 before I was finally wrong.
Goodness.
Well, speaking of 7, this isn't $7, but it's $6. So, what do you think? $5.99. Give me your verdicts.
Buy it.
I think this is good for people who like it, and I think if you want to test it, I think this is also a pretty good one because, again, as I just said, on normal, it's actually not that bad. This is a good one to get your feet wet on this genre.
Yeah, even the nightmare mode was pretty accessible.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for this group, Aki. You have to stick around because you got more shit to do. We got Jacob coming in to add a few more reviews to the end of this, so we are going to wrap up this section. Grant, Bri, Mazedude, if you're still hanging out, thank you 3 for being here. Big thanks to Norg for coming on and chatting with us earlier. We'll go down the list. Bri, final words?
Cinnamon buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, cinnamon buns.
Mazedude, follow that up somehow.
Roast pepper chicken wings.
Grant, final words.
Kaiju cricket.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Things got different in the span of about 20 hours. Yeah, things got crazy. Aki's here, Bri's here, Jacob has joined us. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm feeling like shit.
What
I picked up some sort of stomach thing, and
are your kids sick again?
No, I'm the only one in the house that's sick. So
piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. And so, like, as I was discussing with Aki, I've nailed it down to 2 potential things. Old, like, ice cream custard, which possibly went bad. Doubtful.
Sounds possible.
Possibility. Yeah. And then the other one was the McDonald's that I got on Wednesday morning. So...
Are you thinking it's like food
that's
poisoning?
Still affecting you now.
I don't know if it's food poisoning or if the person who was making it was sick. Because the thing is, like, I've stopped shitting my guts out. Like, I still rip farts that are, like, questionable. But, like...
That's nothing new for you.
No, these are... Trust me. These are not good.
These are concerning.
Yeah, like, these are, like, the kind of farts that you wonder if it's going to come with a prize. Otherwise, I just feel like I just got hit, like, by a truck. Like, after this, I'm just going to go right back to bed.
You know who else just got hit by a truck?
Oh, my God.
Xbox.
Yeah,
since yesterday when we recorded with Grant and George... and Mazedude, which, by the way, you missed Mazedude, you wiener.
I know.
Phil Spencer is retiring from Microsoft. Sarah Bond has resigned from Microsoft. And Asha Sharma, AI executive, is the new Xbox boss. News broke literally in the past half hour.
Yeah.
This is out of nowhere. His retirement is effective Monday. So it's not like this is coming. This is here. This is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been at Xbox
been in charge
or Microsoft for... Well, he's been at Microsoft for a really long time.
I think 88, something like that.
It says 40 years here on this article. I'm just, I'm trying to, find all the info here as quickly as I can. 38 years at the company? Yeah.
Absolutely insane. He was
so
with
Asha
Xbox
Sharma
since 2001.
Came to Microsoft from Instacart in 2024. He's going to take over as head of, yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy news. I wonder how this is going to affect the future of Xbox. Like, the past few years have seen, honestly, the downfall of the brand. Like, I don't care that games are elsewhere, but the actual brand itself is in the gutter. No one trusts Xbox.
Well, they just took it out and shot it in the head.
We don't know. We don't... There were some statements. Let me see if I could find them. The future of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. This is the part that I'm kind of concerned about. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency, that's a lie already, or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop, that also is a blatant lie. Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us.
Yeah,
keep AI the fuck out, people. Keep it the fuck out. We don't want it.
Yeah, but the heads of everything and
don't care.
Microsoft,
we don't want it. We're the customers.
Xbox
we matter.
Care.
We don't want it.
They've decided we don't matter. So yeah, they took it out and shot it. Because she wants everything AI, because she just thinks it's the best thing ever.
We don't know how things are going to turn out. Let's not speculate on what the future is definitely going to be, because we don't know. They could see the backlash and they could be like, maybe we gotta fucking ease it up on this shit. Maybe this is the start of a turnaround, because
you think promoting to people who really like AI to heads of different areas is going to be them saying, well, let's not do as much AI.
Well,
Who's
I
the
mean,
second person?
Sharma said the AI quote there. I'm like reading this on CNBC. Games will always be art. I mean, that's promising.
But Aki's saying that 2 people being promoted. Who's the second? Because I only saw Sharma, the AI person, being promoted. The only other person being promoted is Matt Booty, who is already part of Xbox.
Yeah, he's going to report to Sharma as Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that a promotion?
But
I don't know.
he's
And he
not
wants
an
to
AI guy. He's an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't he also want to completely get rid of QA and replace it with AI?
I don't know. Where was that mentioned?
Hold on.
Because I'm not seeing it mentioned today, but I know that they did make a statement that they want to, here it is, the return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it.
I just linked you an article.
From 2022.
Yes, because your views have changed on
views
AI.
Can easily change in 3 years. Yes, 3
I don't
years
think
you can
so.
change your views. We don't know what his thoughts are now, but hopefully they have shifted a little bit.
I mean, it's true. My views on Aki have changed within the last 3 years. I don't view her as a complete twat. So
yeah, now he knows I am. See?
So it sounds like this decision for Phil Spencer was over a year ago for him to retire. We're just now hearing of it, and that there was some thought to the succession plan. I don't know how true that is. I don't know the deal with Sarah Bond all of a sudden going, or if that was a decision that they made to oust her. Yeah.
She was like being groomed to replace Phil Spencer, and now she's just out of the picture.
Yeah. I don't know what that's all about, but...
How much money is AI making right now? $0. That is true, Felix. Felix the cat.
It's not just making $0, it's costing money.
It is costing money, it is costing resources. It is costing our planet, and we are getting jack shit from it, except for people who think AI is wonderful and piss-colored artwork. My biggest concern is still Satya Nadella. If he's still got this hard-on for AI, nothing will change below him.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Jacob, what are your thoughts on all this? You kind of missed out on all the news, and now you're getting thrown right into the deep end.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a little nervous about it, but at the same time, it's also a wait and see kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next console will really make or break the Xbox brand.
Well, and that was one of the things we talked about in the news segment, is that all the companies are talking about delaying for another couple years their projects because of the RAM shortages and expense there.
Which we talked about an hour ago on the show.
Yeah. I know, right?
It's weird doing recordings like this. I don't ever expect to do news twice in a show.
I know.
Now I'm going to have to put news in the middle of reviews and be like,
See,
hey.
we need a new audio clip that's like crisis, breaking news kind of sound.
Let's see.
What did we use last night?
Breaking news.
Yes, I approve.
That one work?
Yes, I love
that
it.
Works.
It's news from Jacob.
Oh, goodness.
And then news from Aki.
Fair.
Breaking news. That one kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, breaking news. Xbox is dying. Oh, Jesus. So, any other thoughts on this? Where do you think we go?
The hell?
Is it
like the filter song? Where do we go from here?
For us to become Ouya fanboys?
Yes, sadly, we missed that boat. The German U-boats. Ouya, U-boat.
No.
Jacob, it's like the U-boats at Redner's when we would load them up.
The U-boats?
Ooh, like Ouya. U-boats.
No.
Ouya. U-boats.
Are you still talking?
You get it?
Why?
You get it?
Why did I agree to this?
Because you have reviews to do. Should we dive into them?
I'm going back to bed.
No, you got reviews to do. Should we dive into them?
Fine.
All right, let's plow through the Soulslinger Envoy of Death, developed by Elder Games, published by Headup, released February 19th, Series X and S and PS5 for $19.99. Become an Envoy of Death, able to unleash the incredible powers that will make you the most dangerous soul in Limbo. Upgrade your character's abilities to become the ultimate Soulslinger and take on thrilling challenges in a bloody war against the criminal cartel of the afterlife. Jacob, what is Soulslinger?
Soulslinger is a roguelike first-person shooter where you're playing this guy who's kind of like Ghost Rider, except without the badass whip. Flaming skull thing, motorcycle, all the cool stuff that made Ghost Rider. All right, so essentially you're like Death's envoy, and you're collecting souls. So I guess that's pretty much where the Ghost Rider comparison stop. Well, he's got a gun, so yeah.
Yay.
Anyway, yeah, pew pew. Otherwise, it wouldn't be much of a first-person shooter without the pew pew. So, anyways, you are running around in these various levels, and there's this thing called the Cartel, which is the latest big bad that's messing up things in Limbo. And you have to put a stop to all their stuff, and you do that by, can you guess what you do?
You sling souls.
No. You go pew pew.
Oh. You go pew pew
You shoot
souls.
you shoot lots of like these like corrupt soul things and like not necessarily like monsters, but like stronger souls, like evil soul things. And as you're going through these levels, most of them look like they're like set in like the Old West kind of stuff. Some of them have like a Roman Empire architecture set to them. But everything looks dead and empty. And it's more or less like an arena shooter. Like you shoot everyone that you like need to in the level. And then you're given choices as to like what you're going to get as your prize for the next like level that you jump to. So like you could either get like in-game currency, you could have death come help you out or like give you a boost for your next thing. You could also get like upgrades or like blueprints for better weapons, stuff like that. And then it's just like, you know, complete that level, go to the next one, and then you either end up facing off against the mid boss or mini boss, or you know, the regular boss, or you die. And if you die, you go back to like Death's domain. You upgrade your shit, and then you go right back out to it. So, wash, rinse, repeat. There is an actual plot to it, and there's various characters that you get to meet. And like for something that looks so basic on the outside, like there was a surprising amount of stuff in it, in this game that I thought was pretty cool. And it's easy to write this thing off.
The screenshots, it looks great. How is it in motion?
So most of the time it's fine. Like it looks very nice. The devs obviously have a plan for where you're allowed to go. And so there is some stuff that looks like you should be able to jump it, but they won't let you. But there is occasionally a graphic slowdown, and it's most noted during the the transitions between levels, which I guess I kind of get, because it's like, we're getting rid of the previous level, we're loading this level. Like, there's a little bit of slowdown, but like, it's supposed to bring up this animation, kind of like a Doctor Who time tunnel kind of thing. And it just kind of freezes there, sputters, and then loads the next level. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's worrisome the first time you ever see it, but you just kind of get used to it. Occasionally it will slow down during the game, but it doesn't happen that often as far as I can tell.
Your face is a level transition.
Thank you.
You're the door that you walk through in the first Resident Evil.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Iconic, horrible, and slow.
But like, controls, like, they are standard for a first-person shooter, so you're not going to have to learn anything like too wild. I wish the print was a little bit bigger for the subtitles, but
man, every game needs larger print these days. We're getting old, people. Give us bigger text.
We are. I mean, it's one of those things where it's so obvious, tiny. Like, this was like a PC port kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm having fun with it. This one's definitely sticking around on my Xbox for a bit.
Very good. Well, it is a $20 game. What do you think of Soulslinger, Envoy of Death? Let me say the cool
I'd say
name.
It's worth. Sorry. I'd say it's worth the $20. I mean, if you're a little hesitant, then yeah, wait for a sale. But honestly, if I spent $20 on this, I wouldn't be upset.
Very good. Next up, Clue Murder by Death, developed by Cocodrolo Games, published by Dolores Entertainment, and released February 13th, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, PC, 1999. A story-rich detective mystery set in the 30s in England. Investigate a murder inside a sprawling manor, interrogate suspicious residents, and make meaningful choices to uncover the truth before Scotland Yard arrives. Jacob, what's going on in this new Clue game?
So I don't know whether it's actually like affiliated with the Milton Bradley series or whatever. But you play as this. I mean, it has like a similar setup to Clue. Somebody dies at a mansion. Oh my God! During a house party, there's tons of people there, and you are this lone detective who has to figure out who did it. Now with this game, it is not a multiplayer game, first off, so it's not like a board game that you're going to be playing with other people. But you have to...
It's a single-player detective story kind of thing?
Yeah, but you're allowed to make up like a team and like handpick two other people from the... from all like the potential suspects of people to help you gather the evidence and interview other suspects, which I suppose could lead to like some really interesting stuff if one of them is actually the guilty party. But the game doesn't make all that kind of clear whether that's even a possibility. But it is noted that with everyone's it's not everyone's just like this blank slate. Everyone has like their own personalities. Some of them know other people from the party, and like they're like, oh yeah, that guy's my best chum. Or it's like, yo, fuck that guy. I hate that guy. I'm not going to tell him anything. And so, fingers crossed that you pick the correct people for the issue or for the investigation at hand. And the whole thing is set within a period of 2 hours. You actually have it's like Majora's Mask. Like you have, you've got 2 hours to actually get you're on a timer, to get shit done. And so you've got 2 hours before Scotland Yard arrives, and you have to tell them well, I think it was so and so. But you get to walk around the mansion, investigate various stuff. Sometimes you're going to have to find a key to open up various doors. And other times a person might be there right now, or you might have to come back in 20 minutes for them to come back. Some people obviously are not going to talk to you about a lot of stuff. but you have to make it through interviewing as many people as you can, and finding as much evidence as you can, and then involves switching between like the three people, because also people can only hold one object at a time. So you got to make sure that you're picking up stuff that's actually worthwhile.
The devs know we have two hands, right?
Or pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are things.
Yeah, you'd think, but no. No, you do not get a bag of holding in this game.
Oh, what are you holding? I'm holding a box of ammo. What about you? A sailboat? Man, you didn't get good luck, did you? Carrying a sailboat, huh? It's kind of light. I don't know. It's me around.
Anyway,
what else is in Clue?
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just you got to keep yourself on a timer. I mean, the game will keep you on a timer yourself, but you got to be cognizant of it too, as you're moving throughout the mansion and collecting all your stuff. There is some translation errors, and so things are either misspelled or worded not well. Especially like the tutorial for this game, which like, I don't want to call it half-assed, but it is not well done to explain stuff. And so you're going to have to go through probably a couple of playthroughs, just to get, the general gist of this game, which is unfortunate because then, the first time I tried completing it, I also was not able to figure out who the heck the killer was.
It was you.
Maybe.
You were sleepwalking. You did it in your sleep.
But I failed. So,
you killed yourself accidentally.
Oops. That actually would have been a fantastic game. And it turns out, oh my God, I was a ghost the whole entire time.
That's why no one listened to me when I told them who did it.
Oh my God. But yeah, it's just like, I get it. Like, I get what they're going for with this game. I don't think it was executed in the best way. Like, I think they definitely need to work on that tutorial thing for it, and also consider the possibility of being able to hold more than one item at a time. Like, I get that you have teammates that you can like hand off stuff to, but that's still kind of like, that's still kind of crap. I'd give it a try. Like it.
No, we'll get to the verdict. First, Aki, any comments on this game?
Apparently not.
No, nothing. I like asking her when she doesn't have anything to do with the game.
I was muted.
I know you were.
All sorts of stuff to say about it. Is Clue.
It is. It's $20. Jacob, what's your verdict?
I'd say try it. Wait for a sale.
What would you do? Like $15 on this? $12?
10, 15 maybe.
Right, because if you get it now for the next couple of days, you got a week to do it. It is $15.99. Does that change your mind at all? Saving $4.
I'd still say try it.
Alrighty.
I can see this not being everyone's cup of tea, and for Clue fans who might be expecting like the board game, it's not like that.
Gotcha. All right, we are going to talk about a handful of games from Ocean Media. We're going to start off with PopSlinger Volume 2, Loveless, developed by Funky Can Creative, published by Ocean Media, released February 11th. Xbox One, Series X and S for $9.99. PopSlinger Volume 2 Loveless takes you on a thrilling new adventure where Agent Cooper McLaren of the Juncture Against Various Anomalies, Java, teams up with Akane 2.0, a reformed digital idol, to rescue Rhea, the heroine of the first game, who has mysteriously vanished. As they navigate the bizarre Purple District, Cooper's coffee-fueled weapons and Akane's digital powers will be put to the test against formidable Loveless sisters and a variety of new enemies. Jacob, tell us about PopSlinger Volume 2 Loveless, which we are also giving away in chat. So if you're hanging out in chat, make sure to type enter, and you can win a copy of this game courtesy of Ocean Media. So Jacob, what is this game?
I'm going to try to win a game.
You have this. You're reviewing.
I'm going to try to win it.
Okay, what is it?
Anyway, so it's kind of like it's a side-scrolling, kind of like a beat 'em up, except you don't actually beat up on anybody. You're shooting like bullets out of your Mega Man-ish kind of gun. And you have this partner named Akane, who just really seems like this annoying rookie that's following you. I'm not sure if that's actually the case or if it's just we needed to play the first one to understand really what's going on with this. But you're this detective that's investigating something, and
disappearance of the girl from the first game.
Okay,
that was in the intro I read.
Oh, I was not.
Yeah. You weren't paying attention to me reading an intro? What?
Yeah, I know. Do you? You know what? I also don't know the price of the game.
That doesn't shock me either.
I know.
Bri, does anyone know the price of this game? Did anyone pay attention?
This one wasn't mine, so I was not, no.
Proud of you. Bri, did you pay attention? Do you know how much this one is?
No, because I was playing a game.
Actually, Bri definitely knows the price of it because she has it written down.
I know the price of it. I looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
tell us about the game.
Research.
You can't tell us about the price yet.
So anyways, you have to walk through all these different areas, beat up all of these robot animal things. I don't know how to describe them, but they're bunnies and crocodiles and other stuff that'll hop out of these portals. You have to beat a handful of them to keep progressing. Sometimes there'll be multiple waves that come in through these portals, and sometimes if you've built up enough of a combo thing, you can have Akane do a special move, which is either a shield or some sort of a slash thing, which is the slashing can kind of be helpful if you've placed Akane right in front of
up one of the
portal
portals,
where lots of where lots of them are spawning. Otherwise it's completely useless. The shield was actually the biggest help out of all of them, but you're moving from location to location, and at first I thought this was going to be more Mega Man-ish based, where it's you could go defeat any of the sisters. It's just, some are going to be easier than the others if you have certain weapon stuff, but no, the game has a very specific way of how it wants to take you through the map, because there is an actual plot to this game, and actual cutscenes. Honestly, the gameplay, it's okay. I felt the characters move a little too quick for my liking, but that's just something I had to kind of get used to. Thankfully, there is 3 different modes of difficulty: easy, normal, and hard. And of course, I chose easy because I'm there for fun.
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, it's fine. I honestly enjoyed the music more than the gameplay itself, to be honest. Yeah, the soundtrack's pretty good. But yeah, I thought it was fine.
I thought it was a cute one. I like the first one. The second one, if you played the first, it's pretty much more the same. They have the color matching combo system. You could, if you do it on harder difficulties, you could try fighting along to the rhythm of the music to do better. But I know on the easy difficulties, it doesn't really judge anything like that. But $10 on this one. What do you think of it?
You're going to finish with an A on every level.
I didn't get an SS yet, but I did get an S.
On easy mode?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There's hope for me.
Yeah. No, there isn't. $10.
Anywho.
What's your verdict?
Yeah. I've spent worse on $10. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. It didn't really do a whole lot for me. I know that there are some people that would be like, hell yeah, $10 for this thing. I'd be more of a wait for a sale, but I still recommend picking it up.
How about a win it in a contest?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good too.
Should we draw ourselves a winner?
Drawer.
Drawer. What do you think, everyone? Should I draw a winner?
Yes.
See who wins a copy of PopSlinger Volume 1. It would help if I am in the proper text box. That would be good. A giveaway. Draw. Let's get our first winner of the day. Congrats to Trash Rando, winning a copy of PopSlinger Volume 2. We will have another copy to give away later. But for now, we've got more Ocean games to talk about. We've got a 3-pack of titles from 7 sales in Ocean Media, with Enchantment 2, Sun's Tier, New Yankee, Through the History Mirror Collector's Edition, and Queen's Garden French Splendor, each developed by 7 sales, published by Ocean Media. Sun's Tier released January 7th, New Yankee February 3rd, Queen's Garden February 3rd on Xbox One, Series X and S, $6.99 each. They're all hidden object puzzle games. Let's just, instead of talking about the descriptions, let's dive into what these are. Jacob, you covered all 3 of them. Bri, you chimed in on 2 of them. Aki, you've got 1 of them. Who wants to start?
I actually don't think they're all puzzle or hidden object puzzles.
No, they're
not. One is a match 3, and one is like a 8 floor game.
Oh, really? Should I read all the descriptions then?
Yeah, I think you should.
All right then. A magical hidden object game set in the Melon Kingdom, featuring diverse modes and puzzles. Your mission is to assist the fairies in locating hidden fragments of various magical items scattered across the kingdom. As you advance, you'll explore diverse locations featuring 3 unique modes, fragmented, matching pairs, and all of a kind. Throughout the game, you'll also encounter jigsaw swap puzzles and a hangman word game with stunning enchanted images, and that is Enchantment 2, Sun's Tier. New Yankee, Through the History Mirror, you'll guide John and Mary and their friends on 2 thrilling parallel escapades filled with excitement, perils, and errands. Explore mysterious lands and times, navigate mystical phenomena as you join them in traversing space and time. And then Queen's Garden French Splendor, where your green thumb meets your match 3 puzzle solving brain. It is a match 3. Step into a world where gardens don't just need water, they need your help. Surrounded by gorgeous French scenery, grow and expand your garden, complete match 3 levels, and make this puzzling paradise truly your own. Now it's your turn. Talk.
I feel like I only have bad things to say.
Well, before we get to them, Jacob, how about you tell us what these games are? Let's start with Enchantment 2. Tell us what this is.
Enchantment 2 is a hidden object game, and you have to help these fairies find a bunch of crap throughout the levels. And frankly, this one drove me nuts because it's just find 20 crystals, and it's just half of these things are these they look like, I know crystals are rocks, no duh, but there was nothing obvious about them as crystals, and it's just kind of just click on a bunch of shit, and it's just
you have to find wind instruments and different symbols and pairs of things, and there's also puzzle types like jigsaws, stained glass style jigsaws, swap puzzles. There's a hangman word game. Puzzles were not particularly challenging nor fun. No. There's no real story to this game. Pretty much all of the story outside of a little book on the main screen that you activate by finding story shards. And the story is really disconnected. You're just kind of moved from one game type to another. And it's set in the fantasy kingdom, Melerin, which has a pretty elvish or fairy-like architecture. And the art is not great. I had to look it up on Steam because I realized right away that the character art looked a bit sus. And the first scene looked super AI, and big
no.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, I looked it up. The AI disclosure on Steam says that the art assets, backgrounds, and character are AI. And I looked up 7 Sail's other games that we've done on the show previously and found out that 2 of them were also full of AI art, code optimization, and generative processes. So that's Destination Paradise and Animal Kingdom 3 we did previously, as well as Queen's Garden French Splendor, which we'll talk about in a minute. have some AI content to it. New Yankee does not have an AI disclosure on Steam, so that one seems safe.
I really don't like that we have to search on other platforms to get this information.
I agree.
Yeah.
We should not have to rely on Steam to find out if Xbox games have AI in it. I think that's something Xbox needs to address, but given their love for AI, they won't. They'll just be like, oh, everything uses AI. Use Copilot to find out which games do.
Yeah.
I don't like AI artwork. I don't
Yeah.
fucking hire an artist. Don't use AI. It's gross. It's bad. It's ugly. It looks like piss. It's not good.
It didn't look good. It looked like washed out, like watercolor, Photoshop, filter bullshit.
Not good.
It looked grainy when you use the zoom. It wasn't good.
It's not actual art. It's
Yeah.
garbage. Aki, what about New Yankee? How does that one look?
It does not seem to be filled with AI trash.
I was gonna say it's standard mobile game.
Very
art. I'm not gonna lie, this game is crap and I cannot stop playing it.
I know, right? If anyone wants to understand what style
this
game
is a dumb
this
game
is,
and I can't stop. I really can't.
Have you watched any of those YouTube shorts where they just have a random fucking game that I'm pretty sure doesn't exist playing in the background while they're talking? Yeah, that's what this is.
What does that mean? Great. What is this? What is the game?
So you're given these little dwarf guys to run around and collect or gather materials, and you have to fix various stuff in the land so then you can access new areas and sometimes build different buildings. And sometimes you'll have to use one of those dwarf guys to excuse me. Oh God. To use one of those dwarf guys to make it so the building is kind of automated and it'll just start spitting out food or whatever on a regular basis. And occasionally there will be issues on the map where there'll be some sort of beast that comes around and it frightens the guys or it'll freeze them or some shit like that. And so you'll have to either build tower it's tower defense in the most simplest of ways. It's literally a tower, and then so whenever the beast comes around, you shoot it twice, and it's and then it goes away. And yeah, and it gives you it lists out what you need to do. You get it done. Usually you have to recover some sort of an object, and then everyone dances around the screen and you move on to the next thing. And there's really only one recorded audio piece of dialogue, and that's everyone going, wow. And that happens pretty much every single time that any of the dwarf guys spawn, or a new building is built. So there's really not a whole lot going on in this game, but my God, if you just don't want to if you don't want to think for the next hour, this is an excellent game to just leave your brain off the couch.
So if you really don't want to think, you got to fire up this game and listen to our show, and then you'll just be blissfully unaware of life.
Yes.
Huh. All right, what about Queen's Garden? What's going on in this one?
So that's a match 3 game. It's got a story and some goals to get this garden built. And while you're going, you solve these. It's like a match 3 puzzle game. So you're not just having to do an endless match 3. You're doing puzzles, so they have different elements to it that you have a goal to get a certain number of tiles or certain number of other things. There's different I can read my notes. Yeah. You get temporary upgrade items like a sickle that clears all the tiles in a column and row. There's a garden glove that lets you swap 2 tiles, stuff like that. There's 3 different ones. But yeah, you have to get like a bunch of purple tiles or purple flowers or red flowers or garden trowels or whatever. You might need to get like 30 of those to finish the level. And then as you progress, it gets more and more challenging where there's like tiles underneath that you have to match twice to get them, like gold tiles, to get rid of them underneath a color and you know, different.
So if you played the original Jewel Quest from Xbox 360, you should be good.
Yeah, or Candy Crush or any of those sort of games. Like it's pretty standard.
Have I told you my Jewel Quest horror story?
Oh no.
It requires 5 loop throughs to complete. I was on my 5th one and it lost my save file.
Ooh, oh no.
I will never go back. Never will I go back.
Yeah.
Check my achievements on Jewel Quest. That has me pissed.
Yeah. But as I kind of already mentioned, I want to actually quote this because I wrote this before I knew the AI. I wrote, all the while you make points to fill your royal garden back up with grainy graphical greenery. I was really proud of that. But yeah, it's unfortunately all of the parts of the garden are AI, which is why it's grainy graphical greenery.
Now, we don't know if all of the parts. I'm looking at the Steam page. It just says parts of the garden. We don't know which parts.
Yeah. The way that the game plays, that's all the art in the game that's not the actual match 3 portion. So
all the background stuff.
Yeah.
Why do you need AI to draw fucking leaves?
Yeah.
I could draw a palm tree out of a crayon. Come on.
Yeah. There are 3 difficulty levels. There's 220 levels, and if you want the completion for achievements, you have to play the game 3 times because there's achievements for playing all the levels on each difficulty. And it's got a progression, like you get to level 110 and then you get a new garden area to go through, but like normally every 5 levels or so you get a piece of garden, so it feels pretty rewarding. But then all of a sudden it jumps to like every 15 levels and it starts to feel like a slog. And then after a couple of those levels you get to like the 110 and it goes back down to normal. So I don't know, it was weird, but yeah. It was this one I played a lot of until I found out it was AI, and then I got mad.
Too offensive gameplay wise, but it seems like Enchantment is the worst of the bunch AI wise, then Queen's Garden, then New Yankee.
Yeah. And
like
there's no AI disclosure for
yeah. Seems like quality wise it might rank the same as well, where Enchantment's not really that good. Queen's Garden is enjoyable, but the AI is really annoying, and then New Yankee is the most mindlessly fun of the 3. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Aki, your thoughts?
That sounds 100% right. These other 2 sound fucking miserable.
Well, Jacob liked... Well, no, he liked New Yankee. That's right.
Yeah, I like
Queen's Garden doesn't seem miserable. Like, I might try Queen's Garden just because I'm a sucker for match 3 games. And I was wrong. I was on my 4th, not 5th playthrough. Even still, that's far enough that you don't want to restart.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a slog. $7 per game, $6.99 each. Enchantment 2, Suns 2.
That's a deny it.
Yeah. Queen's Garden, French Splendor.
No.
Yeah, the AI says no.
New Yankee Through the History Mirror.
Hold on. I would also just like to clarify. Queen's Garden, that would have been a no, even if it wasn't AI.
Oh, I would have given it a try if it wasn't AI.
It was just it was such blah generic crap, and it was like even like the match 3 art is just
it's meh.
Like and it's just like
it looked like a mobile game.
And the thing is, it does literally nothing to separate itself from any of the other thousands of clones out there. And so, for the price that they charge, no.
New Yankee.
All right. I'm gonna hate myself, but if you're looking for some mindless fun, then yeah.
Aki?
Yeah, I think it's totally worth it. It's going to take you a while to 100%, but fuck it. Yeah, it's mindless fun.
So we hit all three: a buy it, a kind of middle of the road, and a deny it.
Yeah.
Huh. Congrats, Ocean! You hit all three in one. 2 more games. We got Arcade Archives 2, Megazone, and Top Speed, developed and published by HAMSTER. Top Speed released February 4th. Megazone February 11th on Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PS5. They are $9.99 each. Let's start with Top Speed. It is a racing game released by Taito in 1987. Enter high-stakes street races where speed is everything and aim for the finish line while dodging obstacles and avoiding collisions with rival cars. Using Nitro grants you explosive acceleration, blow past the competition, leave everyone your dust, show them what it means to be the best. Jacob, we know you don't know what it means to be the best, so tell us what the game is about anyway.
So, Top Speed is a arcade racing game. It is one player, and pretty much it's just like, you have to get to the finish line, which is really just, to be able to make it to the next area of it. And there's a map that shows like all the different areas, and I was like, oh cool, maybe this is going to kind of like be Outrun where it's like, branching paths and all that kind of stuff, but it's not. It's just one single, big ass track that you have to go through. If you rely on automatic transmission, you're going to have a real bad time with this game. Because you are going to have to shift your gears up and down constantly throughout this, and it is going to take you a while just to get past the first point in it. Like racing again, like it's like the environment's not difficult. The other cars that are on the track aren't exactly like, sometimes they'll get in your way and all that kind of stuff and cause you to crash. But like this is really one that requires a lot of precision, and it's real easy to just miss out, and like you could be like 50 feet away from the finish line, and it's like, oh, time's up, you suck. Yeah. And so this one is really more precision based than like arcadey. So set your expectations appropriately with this game.
How
like
is
the art
this
looks
compared
nice
to the Top Racer collections we've had? Because to my knowledge, Top Racer and Top Speed are the same. It's just like IP issues, I think. I wish Chris were here because he would know for sure. But I know we've covered the Top Racer collection. How is Top Speed? Is it the same?
Honestly, I don't know if it's the same. I'm looking that up right now. But Full Throttle. It was known as Full Throttle. No, it's not the same thing.
There's too many that sound similar.
Yeah, Wikipedia actually likens it to Outrun.
Well, this one is,
as I said, this one's more realistic than arcadey. So, like, get ready for some difficulty.
Yeah. As always, the Arcade Archives games have Time Attack, Original, High Score, and Caravan Mode. The Time Attack is exclusive to Arcade Archives 2. The other 3 are in the normal version. There's also variable refresh rate on the ACA 2 titles. This one clocks in at $10. What are your thoughts on Top Speed?
It's more of a challenging one. So, as I said, if you're looking for more of an arcadey experience, I would say it's a try it, but otherwise I'd say buy it. I mean, I'm always a big fan of this series, of the Arcade Archives series, I should say. But this one is it's a lot more difficult than some of the other racing games on here. I don't know. Personally, personally, I had more fun with Ridge Racer, but that was also made like 7 years after this. So,
and totally different company,
and also, more arcadey.
Yeah. All right,
but also an Arcade Archive title.
Yeah. More expensive too. Ridge Racer was what, 17 instead of 10?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that.
Because it's one of the Namco
the higher end cabinets.
Yeah, I forget what that series is called.
Doc Havoc sounds like a skill issue to me.
I mean, yeah, it is.
All right, Megazone is a shooting game released by Konami in '84. Pilot your tank and head for the enemy base with the goal of destroying the core hidden in its deepest depths. By collecting items, 2 tanks can combine to power up. Gain the strength you need to prepare for the battle against an unknown enemy. Jacob, what's Megazone?
So Megazone is a top-down shooter where you're running around in this like tank thing, and you have to go from where you start off to the end of the level, which involves shooting up whatever like the main boss is for that area, and then you move on to the next one. It's slightly different terrain and slightly different looking enemies, but generally they play pretty similar. It's really just a lot of like enemy layout and switching up the backgrounds and stuff like that. It is a tough game, but it's also one that I found to be a little bit pattern based. And so obviously it'll help if you could shoot everything on the screen, but if you can't, like dodging is just as much of a good thing to do as, learning how all the different units move and all that kind of stuff, help it quite a bit. There is some challenge to it, but it's also not as visually striking as other ones. And, and granted, this is a game from like 83, 84?
84.
It's like, yeah. And so it's just like there's games that came out like 2 years later that, look way better than this. But it's still like one of the early titles in this kind of genre. I think it's worth checking out. But it's good that this one got it's getting its time in the sun again, through the Arcade Archive series. Because it's always good to look at like the early titles in a certain genre. This wasn't one of my favorites, but it's solid enough.
Well, it's $10. What do you think of this one?
$10. Yeah,
what was that? Want to try that line again?
I don't know. I mean, it's like I feel conflicted about it because it's just like I didn't view it as a particularly great game, but it's worth checking out and it's worth supporting like the Arcade Archive series so we keep getting releases of older games like this that I never heard of it until this release. And so it's just like, it's great that these things are bringing stuff back into public consciousness. But at the same time, it's also like not the best game ever. So it's like, it's one of those like where I'm like, part of me is just like, yes, absolutely. Give them your $10. Like on the other hand, it's like, you might want to try it because there are better titles out there. Donate $10 to the museum.
There you go. And with that, we are done. We made it through this episode. Big thanks to the 3 of you for being here till the end, even though Bri wasn't supposed to be.
Nope.
No, but hey, Xbox news happens, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Big thanks to Grant, George, and Chris coming on in the first half of the show. Music this episode, we're going to play something from Mazedude's new album.
Nice.
I was thinking I was going to play the song Deuteronomy, and then for the name of the episode, I'm going to call it Mazedeuteronomy.
I like it.
Yeah. Jacob, since you missed Mazedude, do you have any final words to end the show?
No.
It's amazing. There you go.
Fun.